else I can neglect YouTube chat. This music is so peaceful. I'll switch to our little chat window. Hey guys, what's up? How's it going? Do you like the new branding? Isn't it kind of fun? I did that this weekend. I thought it was hype. I'm happy about it. What are you guys doing? Hey Denny, what's up? Hey Coder. Hey Cilaresco. Good morning everyone, or afternoon, or evening. I don't know what time it is for you. But hello. What was I doing? Oh yeah. Immediately forgetting. Oh, I guess I could probably see it in Restream. Can I see it in Restream? No, it's confused. It doesn't know. Oh, music's too loud. Okay. This mic is weird. I think I got a defective one. Cause this one, it's like, I always have the gain as high as possible and I'm so quiet. No compliments. Yeah, it's cause the internet doesn't know what is or what a compliment is most of the time. So it's easier to just like say no to all compliments. I've gotten too many weird comments. People are like, it's a compliment. So yeah, it's made my life easier not allowing them. What's up, Sammy? Welcome in. Okay, so far nobody's chatting in YouTube. That's cool. You guys can lurk. You're allowed to lurk. What's up, you guys? Yo, I'm excited. I'm doing a lot more content stuff these days. I spent not my whole weekend, but like a good amount of the weekend doing some. Mike is really sensitive to you looking away. Okay, I'm trying to hold it off to the side because I'm really bad at like not at doing like the little shh and like right into the mic. So we're trying to figure out how to not be scuffed, but we'll see. It's a process. Yeah, it's fun. I feel like I'm figuring out my time management, which is nice. And then I had a little, not necessarily that I had extra time this morning, but like I wanted to hang out. So we're doing a little co-working because I got stuff I gotta do that is, sorry, I keep hitting my desk. I also need to figure out how to like not have that awesome reverb when I hit my desk because I hit it too much. Trying not to be a scuff challenge is impossible. I know, right? It's a necklace from the teeth of my enemies. It is. Thank you. I'm glad you noticed. It's all the Emacs users in my chat. That's why. That's where it came from. Yeah. All the people that tried to backseat. My elder sister is like you when she works in her room. Why? Because she is a lady working in her room? Like, what's the similarity? Tell me more. Been learning Go thanks to your recent video? Oh, awesome. I'm so glad. That's hype. Yeah, I'm glad people like that video. It was just like, I don't know. It's cool. I'm like, I feel like there's so many videos out there that are just like, they're so edited and they're so like whatever. And I'm like, I just want the content to be compelling enough that it doesn't need all the crazy edits, you know? Like I'm not having to like rely on that to make it interesting. Like I want it to just be interesting. But yeah, I'm excited about upcoming stuff. I've been like researching a lot of different topics and like trying to read more and stuff. And that's been real fun. Is her desk is well organized? Oh, that's the desk behind me. My desk always has so much stuff on it. Dude, I have a piece of furniture right here. It's like a lounger and I just toss everything on there. I thrive in chaos. What can I say? It's funny because it's like I'm okay with any common areas of the house. I'm pretty good at keeping those organized, but as soon as I'm in my own little like goblin cave, it's just absolutely chaos. What headphones are those? They are the Bose QC45s. I actually have a little mini review on these coming out soon. Yeah, they're awesome. Yeah, TLDR, they're great. I really like them. Oh, I should have mentioned the Skullcandy Hesh 3 in the video, but I'm too lazy to edit it again. / I've got like 4 other videos that I'm editing right now, so it's fine. But yeah, I'm gonna do some co-working today. I got a lot of stuff to do. Welcome in Karen in the YouTube. Hello. Yeah, mine are starting to pop. What's pop? What does that mean? Like you're getting popping audio? Oh, YK! Thank you so much for the raid. Give a shout out to YK. Anyone who wants to learn things and be inspired should follow YK. His stuff is linked there. What were you working on? Yeah, I used Pop! OS because I have an NVIDIA graphics card and I don't hate myself. No, for real though. Pop! OS, they have one of their, what do you call it? Like options? One of their forks of Ubuntu for Pop! OS is like specifically for compatibility with NVIDIA graphics cards. So yeah, it's just like plug and play. It works. It is helpful that there is like there are some people getting paid to work on it. Gives me a bit of relief there. If anything goes wrong, it's easy peasy. So yeah, it's been super seamless. I was at the point where I'm like, I don't feel like I got enough things I can tinker with. I don't feel like tinkering with my operating system right now. I'm happy to just have it plug and play on Linux. I break enough things as it is. Crypto price checker, like crypto coins. Good to see you streaming, Bash. Nice to see you streaming, YK. But yeah, you're right. I'm slacking. Well, I actually have a schedule now. Although it's funny because I just announced my schedule last week and I already have to move it this week. Turns out I have a conflict on Friday. So you're welcome for being really consistent. I'll probably move it to Saturday. But this week I do actually really want to do some coding for Elm on stream. So I'm trying to figure out what kind of content I like producing. Cause obviously there's a certain kind of content that works and there's people doing that. But like, I think it's so boring to just like follow what other people are doing. So I've been having fun just playing around with all these different formats and just seeing what sticks. Like even last week we did a bit of like reaction content, which is not usually my cup of tea. But I was talking to some friends and they're like, you offer a unique perspective, like your perspective is your own. So, that's part of what makes the React content interesting is that it might be a different perspective than the people that are watching you and they get to kind of hear your thoughts on it. And that's interesting. But I don't know. I was editing the video and I'm like, okay, this is good. It's fun, but it's not going to be like my bread and butter, I like coding. I like learning new stuff. So I want my content to be kind of centered around that. And I don't want to compromise on like quality, but I do want to post more. So it's a whole thing. We are so back. Pomodoro with Bash again. We are so back. I think someone asked if Pop! OS is your primary OS, right? I'm having trouble dual booting Pop and Windows for the last 12 hours. Oh, I have a really fun Band-Aid solution, which is that every single time that I want to boot into Windows, which is not that often because why would I? I have to go to the BIOS menu and then choose a different partition. Actually, I think I do actually have I have it on a separate drive, but even if it's a separate partition, it'll still just show up in your BIOS. But yeah, I don't have, I used to have something else. I can't remember what it's called, but like when you boot up, you chose what operating system you wanted to boot into. I think is it Grub? Something like that. But yeah, I'm honest. It's been since 2021 I've been doing that. It's scuffed AF, but whatever. It works. It does the job. Plus, I only use Windows for gaming. So, like, every time that I boot in there, it's all scuffed anyway, because, like, I never touch it. And it's like, I barely want to work because you don't update me anymore. You don't care about me. But yeah, I stream on Linux, and that's part of why I have so many technical difficulties. So my audio is always desynced. I had to put like a delay on my audio to have it actually in sync, which is fun. Proud of myself for finally figuring that out. It only took me like 3 years. Also, KJ, thank you so much for the tier 1. I appreciate it. 19 months. That's almost 2 years. That's insane. Let's go. Let's go. Hello, I'm new here. What kind of coding do you do? That's a good question. Anything that I find interesting. So this coming Friday, or like Saturday now, because I have to update it in the Discord, okay? But this week, I'm going to do some Elm programming. So we're going to learn Elm together because I want to have a blog and I don't want to write JavaScript. So yeah. I used to have a Linux laptop. I don't anymore. The reason that I switched computers was one, so I had a Lenovo T480 and the CPU started dying because it was just like the base tier CPU. And I wanted something that I could potentially stream off of that had a good enough hardware that I could stream from it and use the built-in devices and it would still be like decent quality. So I did end up going with a MacBook. So I have a MacBook Pro as my laptop and I miss i3 every time I use it. I've tried SKHD with Yabai and it's just not, it's not the same. It's just not the same. It's like, it's too scuffed. Cause sometimes it's like, some applications don't work with Yabai. So it's like it'll kind of glitch out and then you'll have the app that you need to use like behind this tiled window of the other thing you're hoping to split. So now it's just like, it's you cannot access it. You actually just cannot access it. It's just like, it's brutal. Yeah, it's brutal. High level or low level, I'm an embedded systems student. I mostly do C/C++ stuff as well as FPGA programming. I haven't done a ton of low level projects. I don't know what I would build. Like I'm out of project ideas. I don't have any use cases for things that I need that are super low level. I was at one point considering doing a project with, with Arduino and making it so that it would water my plants for me because I kill all my plants, so I should automate it. I have no green thumb. The only plant that I can keep alive is a snake plant, and it's holding on by a thread. How long did it take you to learn a Vim/NeoVim? I've only used VS Code, but I tried Vim today. It's so hard to remember all the keys. Yeah, so what I did is I actually had, where did I keep it? I can't remember where I kept it, but I think I kept like either as a pinned window in my browser or like I always had a cheat sheet to what the NeoVim, like what the Vim keybinds were. And I just like had that up for months. For months. And I just used the Vim keybinds extension for VS Code for a bit. And then it wasn't until I started being like, oh, I wish I could use this or I wish I could use that. But like certain features that were in NeoVim that I was reading about in my little cheat sheet, but that didn't work when it was just a plugin for VS Code. And then I was like, okay, I'll take the plunge and like actually start using NeoVim. Is this ad in the background yours or is it some new Twitch thing? What ad? It must be a new Twitch thing because I don't have any ads on my screen. How did you get into computer related stuff? Well, so I've always been into gaming, like video games, right? Since I was a kid. And I was always curious about how those things worked. In high school, I liked math and sciences. But then when I was looking at what I would want to do for my career, I was trying to balance lifestyle and my own interests and what I like from an academic perspective. So I was actually looking into something that was healthcare and tech related. And then I realized that I didn't want to live my life working in a hospital. It's just, I like being home and I like dogs. So I just want to have a bunch of dogs and stay home. So when I was looking at things that I could possibly major in when I was applying to universities, the only thing that really stuck out to me that wasn't related to like healthcare and technology was computer science. I was like, I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool. So let's go. Let's do it. And then that's how I got into like actually coding and stuff like that. It was hard AF because it was so competitive, and I felt like everyone else that was there knew how to code. And so I was like, this is really hard. This is really hard trying to like wrap my brain around logic and programming all at the same time, and it's hard. I was also working, so I don't know, it's a lot. But anyway, yeah, that's how I got into it. It was good. Is it just me or is anyone else having problems with Twitch whisper messaging? I straight up do not use Twitch whispers, so I don't know. I think most people just join a mutual Discord server or something if there's someone they want to message. Just buy fake plants? Dude, that's cringe. No, I'm just kidding. Fake plants are fine. Then you gotta dust them. Like, what if they get all dusty and then people know my plants are fake? I should have Lego plants. Lego plants would be kind of sick. Have a bunch of dogs, stay at home, relatable. Yeah, seriously. Do you think it's worth going to college for a major in comp sci or to teach yourself how to code? Ooh, this is a tough one because it depends a lot on combination of your personality, your existing network, or like who you might be able to access in terms of creating opportunities for yourself. Because college is going to give you the ability to kind of get in the door somewhere where you're not known, right? Like if they don't have any idea who you are, it gives them some kind of baseline guarantee of what your skills are going to be. Versus if you're self-taught, you really have to like prove yourself more, and you might get filtered out earlier in the process. So I think it's a combination of that. It is also really hard to self-teach. Like university is hard, but the thing is with self-teaching is like it is self-directed. You are also the one that needs to be providing yourself with a curriculum, basically. So you're doing the job of the teacher and also the student. You have to make sure that like you have a path set out that makes sense for your goals. So you basically have to find your goal and then backtrack from there of like what skills you need to get there. And that could be looking at job postings, seeing what it is that what the skills are that they're looking for, and then trying to work backwards from there. That's a great way to do it. Looking at curriculums of like what they are teaching at universities, and often in these course outlines and stuff like that, you'll see what textbook they're reading, and you can kind of follow along and just like work through the book yourself. But again, this isn't giving any guarantees for an employer. So at that point, you might have to start at more of an entry level position than if you had gone to university. You'd be able to kind of jump into a position of what you'd want off the bat. And even to get that entry level position, you pretty much have to start as like an intern, and you have to figure out how to convince some place to hire you as an intern and give you a chance. So there's a lot of factors that play into that. And I think, of course, because networking is involved, it would hinge a lot on your self-discipline and your social skills as well. If you're very outgoing, it's easy for you to connect with people. You'll be more likely to be able to network effectively. But if you are not that way, it might help to have a little something in your back pocket that gives them some reassurance as a potential employer that you have potential. Like just figuring out how to show that you have potential is a really important part of being able to get that first role. At a certain point, I think your work experience starts to kind of outweigh the college degree anyway. And you see that even in job postings, it's like college degree or equivalent experience in the field. So like that's also something to account for. But yeah, you have to be very disciplined. It is nice though. Like personally, I love self-teaching, but like a lot of my friends think it's kind of weird that I study. Like I'm not in school and I study for fun. And like I don't think everyone does that. You know? Are dusty fake plants better than dying real plants? The dying real plants are kind of morbid, I'm not gonna lie. As someone who doesn't have a CS degree, I recommend going to college for sure. Yeah, like I feel very lucky. Like I feel like I got lucky. I was working through my CS degree while working because I was lucky enough to get to be introduced to someone that could expand my network and give me that initial opportunity to start getting work experience. So I was working in a tech role while I was in school, and that was really helpful. And then I was also getting enough exposure that people wanted to work with me outside of my university affiliation, right? So I was able to get opportunities because I was able to kind of get seen for that potential. And that kind of was a very unique situation. So to me, it doesn't feel right to be like, oh yeah, you definitely don't need a degree. And especially nowadays, there's so much competition out there that I don't know. I don't really know anymore. I think no matter what though, when it comes to just like getting any kind of certainty in the workplace, it's who you know. Because no matter what, like it's all about establishing trust with wherever you want to work. And the degree gives a certain level of trust. If you know someone that works there and they refer you and they say, hey, this person's great to work with, that gives a certain level of trust. So it comes down to that. But again, I know it's not financially viable for everyone to get a CS degree. So I think that the nice thing about tech is that it is one of those places where if you are really determined to get yourself into a better position and you're pretty persistent and relentless chasing that goal, it will allow you to do that. You don't need the degree, but you have to work really hard to get there, to be seen and to get the opportunity to just get your foot in the door and start to make connections. College put me on track. It gave me an internship program where I got my return offer and a full-time job. Self-study is how I improved as a developer. Very, very, very true. Yeah, for a long time, I had imposter syndrome for sure. Even though I was teaching myself a lot and I felt I was learning a lot and I was able to build things, I was always questioning, like, are there things that I didn't learn in school? Are there things that other people who finish school know that I don't know? The answer is yeah. And so that's like, okay, now you got to self-study. But even beyond that, it's self-studying is what's going to set you apart from even the college graduates. At a certain point, if they stop after they finish university, like that's their plateau to an extent, right? Of course, you're going to learn on the job and stuff like that. But like, if you're self-studying, you will continue to grow at a pretty crazy rate. So like, I don't know. I don't remember what my point was with that. Self-study is very important and it can take you to a lot of places, but it is very important as well to be able to get your foot in the door and be seen. Yeah. Which is something that I think that if you have the persistence to do that, like, and the self-discipline to keep yourself on track and keep studying, then like you can do self-taught, but it takes a very, very particular type of person, I think, to be able to do self-taught successfully these days. Especially post-pandemic, like everyone wants to be a developer. People need to stop glorifying being a developer. Oh, I was actually raging about this. Well, not quite raging, but like just annoyed. I think the most annoying thing that I see happen in the development space is seeing developers put themselves on a pedestal and be like, you know what, my coding skills are just like, that's what makes me so special. I'm just such a good developer. And then they put down any other skills that might be software adjacent, that might help write better code, that might help write better software, that might make something more relevant to the general public. And instead they're like, yeah, you're only as good as your code. It's like, bro, shut the fuck up. Just shut up. If you're an asshole, no one's going to want to work with you. Like, stop. I don't care how good of a coder you are. I don't want to work with you. So anyway, I was on Reddit. If you can't tell where that source of frustration came from, obviously Reddit. Obviously. Like all sources of frustration, where would we find the high and mighty developers? Reddit. Duh. I have a plastic bottle filled with water and a valve which it is stuck into the plant ground. It drips water over the week, keeps the plants alive. Okay, that's so smart. That's really good. I have those little bulbs, but they run out of water too fast. I had a job interview today and they're gonna send me a technical task later. Ooh, good luck. Ooh, that's a great resource. Thank you, Sushi, for sharing that. OSU/computer science. It should give you an idea of what you'll be doing in college. Best nootropic? I don't know what that word means. Isn't that some kind of like thing that you can take that makes your brain perform better? Why would you personally recommend Go? I've been looking into Rust and Go, and I'm not sure which one to continue with. I'm not really looking to get into a specific field, more just to experience a new language. Honestly, I would just play with both of them for a little bit and then like see which one you just prefer writing. Like, I really like Go's syntax, and I like that I'm able to work more collaboratively. That's a word for sure. I like that I'm able to work very collaboratively in Go. Like, I can read other people's code. It's easy to read because there's only one way to do things. I haven't tried Rust. I'm not sure if that would really be as much of the case. I've heard there's a bit more ceremony with Rust, just in terms of, like getting everything set up, and I don't know. There's more ceremony. So it might take a little bit longer to like get something to a working state compared to Go. But again, if you want something that's maybe where you have a bit more control, then Rust might be a better option for you. I think it just depends on what your learning goals are at this moment. Because like realistically, you can do Rust for a few months and then switch to Go, or you can do Go for a few months and switch to Rust. You can switch back and forth. Like it's not like you need to stick to one or the other forever. And besides, like the more you learn, the more you have that you can reapply into your whatever skill set you decide to go with. Like if you learn Rust and you decide that it's not for you, and so you switch to Go, I'm sure that there are some principles or things in the language that they do well in Rust that you can then apply to your projects that you write in Go, or like it just gives you more perspective, I guess. I do know someone who recently got in as self-taught as a career-changing adult. Not saying it was easy. Last year he got a second job, which I think crucially shows you were good to go. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Unfortunately, in this career field, you do have to study / do side projects for fun. Kind of the only way to really get better. Yeah, totally. Well, because like you're problem solving. When you reach a problem that you've never seen before, how are you going to get the perspective to be able to solve it without seeing how other people solve problems? And to see how other people solve problems, you have to like read books and read people's code and like experiment with things. Otherwise it'll take you so long. But at the same time, I do think that you should always be getting paid to learn. This music might be too loud still. Sorry, I should have turned that down earlier. Forgot I had it. Beep. Yeah. Forgot what I was talking about. You got some Dogecoin? No, just Doges. Self-improvement of any kind is great, so do it. Yeah, true. Learning is a never-ending process. I enjoy studying for my field. I hope this doesn't change as I age and or burn out. I mean, it will change when you burn out. Don't do that. Don't do that. I think that if I'm starting to feel disinterested in something that I'm usually very, very interested in, it means I need a break from it. And also probably some self-reflection, right? Figure out what it is that's rubbing you the wrong way. Maybe it's just that you're stressed and you don't want to take on more than you can do at that time. Like there are sometimes in my life where I have to not do as much self-study. And then there's some times where I'm like, all of my free time is like self-study or advancing in some way. And it has to be like that. And other times I'm like, I gotta sit back. I gotta socialize. I gotta hang out with family. And like, that's what I need right now. And then it really gets me excited to get back into studying and like being more consistent and disciplined with that stuff again. But I don't think that it's fair to expect yourself to always be performing at your very best. It's like literally everything in the world has seasons. And sometimes the season is you gotta lie down, take a bath. Self-taught since COVID and now I'm back in uni, but honestly rethinking if it's worth it because I still have to network a bunch anyway to even get interviews. Yeah, I've considered going back to university and just like finishing my degree. But the thing is like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that it's going to give me that much more because I am at this point, I am studying still very consistently. I feel good with the progress that I'm making. I feel good with my skill level. I have enough work experience that it is like equivalent to a college degree. So like there aren't a ton of reasons for me to go back. And then in terms of networking, I do spend a lot of time and energy expanding my network and just like getting to know other people in the space. So yeah, I've gone back and forth with it. Of just like, what if I at one point want to land like a cushy government job? Like they might say no because I don't have a degree, but at the same time I should at that, like I would have equivalent work experience. So I think most of the time that's fine. One day I will be the best coder in the world. Also, I think going to college is a waste of time and money. And I heard that in the USA, it's really expensive. Plus all the people that went big in life don't have college. So that tells you, but all the people that went big in life and don't have college ended up having their own businesses where you don't need a college degree to have your own business. I don't necessarily think it's a waste of time and money. I met some great people in university. I think that it's pretty archaic the way that it operates though. I think there's a lot of room for improvement with university and what they're teaching and how they're teaching it. Like, yeah, but there is opportunity to network with other students, which is nice. Like that are also interested in whatever it is that you're studying. But I think if you have, hold on, I gotta take this. I was double mute. I totally forget what train of thought we were on. So, but yeah, I don't think college is, oh, right. I was going to say, I think with university, it's, if you have the resources to do it and to be able to spend 4 years of your life being completely immersed and learning this one topic deeply, that is so cool. But if you have to like fight tooth and nail and like you can't really afford it. I don't know. It was really hard. It was really hard trying to pay for university while in university. I think it's, some people are able to manage it, and I don't know. I don't know. It depends. I feel like I would say do it unless there is some very, very good reason not to. But at the same time, it's so archaic that it's kind of, it can be kind of hard to sit through. Rough. Market is just tough right now. Yeah, that's true. But the thing is too, is like, that's also tech companies. There's a lot of companies that are not tech companies that need technical people. They need software developers or systems administrators or whatever. There's still a lot of jobs for tech, and there's so many, it's such a broad spectrum of skills that you have. They just apply to so many different roles, and there's so many ways it can add value to companies that I think a lot of people look past that. I think I don't know why there's this mindset that it's like, yeah, if you're not coding, you're not doing a real tech job. Like, that's so stupid, but I see that on the internet. And that's just not the case. Thing is obviously you're going to be working with a lot of like not technical people. So you have to understand that might come with some frustration if they don't understand what it is that you're doing, and you have to kind of try and explain that in non-technical terms. I mean, that's a great skill to have, but just like, you might not get the maybe recognition that you feel you deserve for the work that you're doing if you're working in like at a company that's not a tech company. Do you know what I mean? The job I just landed was completely because an old coworker thought of me and recommended for me a role that was only internally visible. It starts with the company being like, hey, everyone on the team, who do you know that might be a good fit for this? That's literally like, they don't want to have to use a recruiter. Recruiter is like last resort generally. So I'm getting everything's so busy. What are your thoughts on the current job market? What do you, when do you think it will get better? Do you think it will at all? I think it will get better. I think it's just gonna change. Like, I think that something's gonna change, and whether that's like the day to day of a lot of the roles that people are looking for. Yeah, I don't know how it's gonna change, but I think it'll change. It'll change. I don't think it'll necessarily be a negative change. But there might be different specializations that become more in demand, and some that are very saturated and less in demand, or the demands are being met already. So people need to kind of shift into other interests or other skills that they can combine to add additional value to the companies and really stand out. But again, that's going to just depend so much on the person and what their interests are and what their goals are. Also, Costa, thank you so much for the Prime sub. I appreciate that. Thank you. I always feel like I'm behind and never doing enough. Yeah, that's a tough one. I relate to that. That's something that I guess I can be pretty like blunt about that. Yeah, that's something that I've had to deal with majorly with like a professional. For sure. Perfectionism and never feeling like you're doing enough. That can be like a really deep thing that can be very, very hard to unpack yourself. But being able to tell yourself that you've done enough is probably the best feeling. And it's very, very empowering, and honestly I think such an important thing to be able to do, because if you let yourself always feel like you're never doing enough, you're going to get absolutely manipulated if you are in a toxic work environment. The minute that your boss can tell that you feel like you're never doing enough and that you're always behind, they're just going to keep adding things to your plate and making you feel that even worse. So personally, that's part of why I'm like, I always want to deal with that stuff as it comes, because I never want to be in a position where someone's able to use that stuff against me. That's not the vibe. That's not the vibe. So I hope, Ella, I hope that you're able to start understanding that you are doing enough and setting realistic goals for yourself, because that one's a tough one. I got a uni assignment and made it special and a lot bigger than it needed to be. Reached out to my prof for feedback and then got a job referral, and I'm starting. Totally. If you go above and beyond for a school project or something that's going to be highlighted and given some kind of platform, like, it's so good. It's so good. There's so many people that don't have that eye for quality, or that don't have the interest to go beyond. They just want to do what they need to, like what it tells them to do, instead of trying to think of ways they can improve even further beyond that. And that really, I think that would really stand out to me if I was looking to hire someone. I streamed on Twitch to hold myself accountable to just build things. Awesome. That's how I got started as well. I did courses and built stuff while streaming, learned so much. Then someone I met on Twitch got me my first software development job. I was working in construction and super thankful for that opportunity. Well, that's the thing, is like, you have to put yourself out there to get these opportunities. And it's uncomfortable and it's hard and it takes discipline, because Lord knows it's nice to just stay home and not have to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. But the only way that you're going to get additional opportunity, or like meet new people, or anything that really is going to change your life and add value, is through putting yourself out there. And at first it's uncomfortable, and then you got to push through it. Got to push through it and just make it something that you do. What's your perspective about a student who studied at his first year in computer science? Ooh, any advice? I remember office hours being really hard, first year computer science. I remember they were just so packed. It's hard too, because I found first year university, I actually needed more time to sit with things and understand them properly. I do have a video on my YouTube that gives kind of my best study tips that helped me a lot my first year. But I'm trying to think of what would I say to like my younger self. I think sometimes we can put a lot of pressure on ourselves to try and understand something as fast as possible, when in reality, it just takes time. And it might seem like everyone else around you is understanding it faster than you. But most of the time, they are having or have had the same questions that you're having. And trying to find, I guess, people that you can be open about that stuff with in university would be really valuable. That also gives you and them an opportunity to learn better by trying to teach each other things. And I think that if you learn by teaching, meaning you learn something in a lecture, you try and study it to the best of your ability, and then you try and understand it well enough to be able to explain it to someone who's never heard of it before. That can be a great way to figure out where your weaknesses are. And I think that's a very great way of studying that's actually going to like imprint what it is that you're learning in a very sensible way. Like you understand how everything ties together and why it makes sense, instead of just being able to like regurgitate information. You probably know more than my fellow students at the end of their masters. If they only stick to university modules, I feel like I know much more than they do right now. They only stuck to university modules. That's kind. Thank you. Yeah, self-teaching is it's so rewarding, but there's so much stress that you can put on yourself for like not knowing something right away. I actually had to catch myself with that recently when I was doing when I did a stream and I was looking into cron jobs. I kept feeling like I had to apologize for not knowing what things were. like I hadn't done bash scripting in so long and never really went that deep in bash scripting in the first place. And I kept feeling this like urge to apologize and kept like catching myself. And it's so important to remember that like you don't need to have pressure on yourself when you're learning something new. It's actually going to hold you back a lot. Just like trying to approach it with curiosity instead of expectation can change your perspective on studying so much and make it so much more engaging for you, instead of like this feeling that you are almost being punished every time that you're studying, which is what you're doing. If you're putting so much pressure on yourself that you feel stressed when you're studying, like you are just punishing yourself every single time you study. You're not going to want to study and you're not going to retain things. Coding is just a tool. Solving problems is the real deal. Yeah, totally. Do one thing at a time and don't forget to take breaks and hydrate. Do you have a lot to do lately? Yeah. Good tips, Etsy. I agree. I never learned how important everything else is until I got my first job. Yeah. Seriously. Can we send links in this chat? I'd love to know Bash's opinion on the viral psychotic tweet. Yeah, you can send links. I'll react to it. Which viral tweet? Do you feel like you are very intelligent / smart? I mean, I think that I'm smart. I think that it's okay to think that I'm smart because I spend time studying things that makes me feel like I understand things. Like I know some things. That's cool. Do I know everything? No. Am I wrong? Probably. Right? I think that it's important to be educated, but to also keep your mind open for extension, Not closed for modification though. You can change your mind, right? But I do like to research things and I like to understand how things work. And I think that curiosity has led me to some cool places and that made me know things that I wouldn't know otherwise. Does that answer your question? Because I don't want to say that I don't think that I'm not smart, because I don't want to tell myself that I'm not smart. That's not the vibe. I can be smart, but I also think that you're not born smart. You're not like, it's something that takes work. Obviously some people aren't born smart and they can just, whatever. They can just do whatever they want. But I also think that it's something that you can build towards. Like some people are born, that is their talent. They are talented. They are smart. I also think that you can make yourself smart by allowing yourself to understand a lot of different perspectives through study, through life, whatever. Being open to that stuff is going to allow yourself to really approach problems better, and I think just be a well-rounded individual. You know more about fundamentals and theory. Self-teaching and doing projects is great for the skills, and actually building things. Either way, you learn a lot. Yeah, totally. Hi, Fiskin. You can send it in Discord if it's a review. Oh, yeah, it's true. I do have a React channel. Bash reviews. Okay. Oh, this one's fun. Okay. Where can I show this? Okay, my browser might crash if I try and move this tab into a window. Just i3 things / Vivaldi things. This is what happens when you use. Okay, actually I can probably just show this window. I'll catch up with chat first. I was gonna ask, who the hell says you're only good at your code, as good as your code? Yeah, seriously, Reddit. It's because it was mostly it was this thing that I read. It was a thread on like programming YouTubers, because I was curious. I was like, what's the tea? What's the drama? What are people talking about? And the thing is I know these people. I know how hard they work. I see it, right? Like there's a lot that happens behind the scenes that they have to coordinate. Like this is a business. Like, this is not just, it's so much work. It's like running a business. And at a certain point, and you're looking at like, because I think Reddit ranks it by like how many upvotes it has, is like how high up it gets in the kind of like comments list. And so you get to like the ones that are just starting to have less and less upvotes, and it's just a wall of people saying, those that can't do, teach. I'm like, that's such a bad take. That's such a bad take, because if you're teaching, there's one of two, like I think there's two goals that you could have. One, you're teaching because you're learning something. So you're trying to get an in-depth understanding of this thing. So you're trying to teach it to others as a way of kind of solidifying your understanding, sharing what it is that you've researched and learned, and basically trying to make that more accessible to others in conjunction with you learning more effectively, right? So there's that one. And then there's also professionals that have studied this thing extensively, and then they decide, you know what? I don't want my day-to-day to look like just solving problems and coding all the time. I really find it fulfilling to help others with their journey. I really want to focus more on the soft skills of working with people and teaching them how to do this thing that I've spent so many years learning about and that I think is fascinating. That doesn't mean that they can't do the thing. It just means that at a certain point, they decided to pivot. And sure, that might mean that their skills get more rusty over time, right? If you haven't coded in a long time, it might take some time to like remember what the syntax is. It's just like a spoken language. If you haven't spoken it in a long time, you haven't been immersed in it in a long time, you're going to be a little rusty. But like, to say that they can't do it is so stupid. It's like, as soon as they were to be immersed in that, I almost want to say ecosystem, or like they're meant to be coding on a daily basis for a given amount of time, like they'll be able to get back into it, no problem. Especially if they are so well versed in the theory and the understanding of like why you do the things. It doesn't take that much to like apply that to code. So I don't know. I just thought it was such a stupid take. I think that sentiment is so discouraging. Like, bro, you're just being a couch critic. You're looking at people who are working doubly as hard to make the information that they're learning accessible and to keep learning things and doing what they can with that. Sure, maybe they prefer doing the content stuff, so they are leaning more on that. And maybe that means that their coding skills is not as good as someone who's coding 9 to 5 every day, or like whatever. They're not dedicating at least 40 hours a week of their time to coding constantly. So sure, maybe they're not as good of a developer, but to just like completely dismiss any of that effort and just be like, oh, well, they can't do it, so they decided to do something else. It's like, that's so stupid and shallow and like absolute couch critic energy. That's it. That's all I have to say about that. Just a little tangent. Okay. Costa, thank you for the Prime sub. Did I thank you for that already? Am I confused? Where am I? Yeah, okay. I'm just really behind in chat. Okay. Recently switched from Go to PHP. Although there are things that I enjoy about Go, I'm still not a huge fan of how verbose everything needs to be. Interesting. Wait, PHP is less verbose than Go. I have to look at PHP syntax again. I feel like I saw it. When did I see it? I saw it like in the last couple of years, but I haven't done a ton of PHP. Interesting. Oh, you mean like, yeah, that's true. You do have to like write your own sort and everything. Although with the introduction of generics in Go, there should be a lot more built-in higher order functions nowadays. Sometimes sitting down and having quiet time just coding is a break from everything else. Exactly. Dude, this is how I think that studying and learning things should be framed. That's why I am such an advocate. Here, I need to turn off this music because I might get DMCA'd. This is why I'm such an advocate for learning things out of curiosity instead of expectation. This is something that I had to like drill into my head because I used to literally get like panic attacks from school. Like I've had to leave an exam because I was having a panic attack. Like it was so much pressure. And like, I know that I'm not alone in that. I know that other people have experienced that. And that's why, like, when I was able to shift that into having it be a relaxing, enjoyable experience where I'm just exploring things that I think are interesting. That's the goal. The goal is just to explore. It's so much more satisfying. And even like for a while, especially because it was such an extreme on the other end of like stress, for a long time I would actually kind of like maybe not ladders, maybe not the right word. I would kind of like layer on studying with like other relaxing activities. So for example, it's like my ritual would be I would go have a bath, or I'd have a shower, or like something, have a little self-care time. And then after that thing, I go and I study. And so I'm already in a very relaxed state of mind. And when I go study, it is continuing the self-care. It's like I'm having a cup of tea, I am lighting a candle, I'm listening to relaxing music, and there's no expectation. And I would probably have to tell myself that like constantly the whole time I'm studying. I'm like, no expectation, no expectation, right? But like after a while, you start to understand how you can relax in that setting, and it's so nice. It just makes it such a fun hobby instead of this thing that just like weighs on you. How do you document efficiently and well, especially in code? That's one of my pain points, and I always forget and come back to later. Usually is just way worse. Dude, this is where GoDoc I think is really good. I'm actually gonna give an example. I'll give an example of one of the repos we have at work, because the author of this library, of this framework, is like the most detail-oriented person. I'll just link a random file. The most detail-oriented person that I have ever worked with. And you can see that in the GoDoc that he writes, the code comments. He explains what the code, like what that does, provides examples, and in Go, all of that counts as documentation for the application. So that's pretty sick. Yeah, I am still with Charm. Also, most of those dropouts went to Ivy Leagues. True. Yeah, true. I wish I networked more during uni. I was a go to class and then go home type of student. I know that was one thing. I wish I got more opportunity to network in school, but as soon as the semester started, I was so busy. I would have to, like, I was going to class and then I was immediately going to work after class. I had like, and then on the weekends, that was the only time I had to like network. And that was because we'd study together. I always miss Basha streams. Where does anyone know if there's a schedule? So my only scheduled streams are on Fridays. Discord, I send a Discord notification when I go live. If I go live on any other days, I guess I could probably give a bit more notice of like, hey, going live in an hour or something like that. But for me, it's hard to commit to a super regimented schedule because I am trying to do more on YouTube, and that takes a lot of time as well to like do, because I do all of the, I do all the prep, I do the filming, I do all the editing, I do if there's any like design stuff, if there's any additional like B-roll footage or like anything that I need to get in order to like make the content interesting, and like planning that. Like I don't have any helpers. I'm really bad at delegating apparently. So yeah, I don't have a stream schedule right now because it's not the highest priority for me. But the schedule I do have a schedule, but it's just once a week is what I can commit to, because some weeks I can do it more than that and sometimes I cannot. Paying for university while in university is so hard. Shout out to you for trying it at least. Yeah, I did it for a long time. It was only when I started, I got to the point where I was because I was in university part-time because, or like between part-time and full-time, I would change up my credits depending on like how much energy I was having and how close I was to an existential crisis. So I'd kind of play with it. But then at a certain point I already had enough work experience that it was pretty much equivalent to getting close to equivalent to a bachelor's degree. And then I'd already started streaming as well. And I was getting a lot of opportunities thrown at me, like people wanting to work with me, that I just, I also had a bad experience with the school. So I was just like, you know what, I'll step back for a bit and let's put the foot on the gas and see where we can go without finishing the university, and see what, like, let's just lean into whatever opportunities are coming up now instead of trying to wait until I'm done university. Got luck with a job that gave me 2 years of experience. I needed to offset being a dropout. Yeah, totally. 4 years of CS won't make you a senior. It's different knowledge. That's true. It is very theoretical. Yeah. What's the most confusing thing about Golang? I think that's subjective. I'm from a tier 3 college and they don't teach much. Thankfully, my brother who was in the college informed me about this and I started totally, dude. Yeah. Thing is like college doesn't need to be 4 years. Like they make you take so many extra credits of like unrelated things. Like why can't I just do the computer science courses? Like I get that they want you to be what, like well-rounded. I get maybe like communications, like basic communications classes, but like beyond that, like you have electives that you need to take. It's so stupid. It just made you realize what? That was the only message. I'm my own boss. I'm constantly putting more on my plate to exploit myself. Yeah, there's that too. What's your motivation to build a blog bash? I was thinking about it too, to improve my communication skills. Yeah, so I blog regardless. As I mentioned, teaching is such a good way to reinforce what it is that you're learning. And because I'm still self-teaching a lot, I like to try and summarize what it is that I've been learning. And so right now, they're just like living in files on my computer locally, and it'd be cool to be able to publish them. I did have dev.to or dev.to as my blog for a while there, just for like, I guess it was like discoverability. There's a decent community there. Like people go, like people do comment on things and like really interact with people's blog posts, which I think is really cool. And there's a certain amount of discoverability there as well. So I would recommend that if you are actually looking to like get eyes on your blog. But in my case, it's just for me. And I like when I can follow somebody or like go to their website and like see what they've been up to and what they've been learning. So that's kind of my motivation, is just being able to bring all of the files and things that I'm learning anyway and put that on my personal website. I just think it'd be cool. And I've been meaning to try Elm for a while. I've been wanting to get more functional, but functional programming is hard. So I keep having to like restart with different, easier languages. So that's that. I've learned the most useful thing by self-teaching at this point. Totally. Yeah. Since you asked about it, okay, I'll review that tweet as well. Also, what's the point of calling yourself not smart other than trying to stay humble? I think it's important to like keep your ego in check, but at the same time, like, you're right. Like, why would you? Thing is I think society can be really critical of like when you compliment yourself. They're like, oh, that's so arrogant. But it's like, what? Am I supposed to just like shit on myself all the time? Like, what do you mean? They'd rather you, like, generally, people would rather hear you talk poorly about yourself than talk highly of yourself, which is kind of messed up. Yeah. I mean, you're easier to, I want to say like you're easier to manipulate if you're talking poorly about yourself. So like, there's that side of it, is like, it's easier for people to like control you versus if you're really confident, like, you know? So I think it could come down to like jealousy as well. If someone's jealous, they're not going to want to hear you say good things about yourself because they might not want to They don't want you to be happy. Misery loves company. I recently learned that smart is not about what you do or don't know, but rather your ability to change your mind given new information. That's a great definition. I like that. Hey Baxter. A friend of mine got a job because she passed the intro to programming and when really learned the language using ChatGPT. Because she passed the intro to programming and then when really needed to, I guess, learn the language using ChatGPT. I tried to learn Rust using it and I really sucked. I don't find it that helpful. I feel like it's a much, I mean, of course, if you know how to like query it properly, I guess it is helpful, but it can be, but it's definitely not like a finished product of anything. Do you know what I mean? It gives you a good baseline for things, but it's not going to like do your job for you, is how I approach AI tooling. But it's a much more like reusable skill to just learn how to read docs. But of course, like it is helpful being able to summarize things. But that's where like the TLDR tool that Chat introduced me to not that long ago. TLDR is awesome because it summarizes man pages for you and gives you some examples on usage. Like that's sick. I think development of stuff comes down to practice and reading docs, not necessarily to intelligence, but there's some areas in software engineering that require a certain level of smartness. Oh, totally. Yeah. It's probably why Haskell's breaking my brain every time I try and use it. Yeah. Seriously. Why do you think Go is a perfect language to work with? And what do you think would be an area where you're better off coding in another language, if that even exists? I think anything where you're wanting a bit more control, like Go is fairly high level. I know that there is, I'm trying to remember what it's called. There is something that you can use to make Go, I think, usable with microcontrollers and stuff like that, like at more of a low level, perspective, I guess. There are ways that you can use Go as like a more low level language, but it is a pretty high level language. So I would say if there's anything where you want to be able to have control over like memory management, over garbage collection, over like, I don't know, whatever other things. I don't know if Go has like macros in the language. I think a lot of it comes down to like personal preference. It comes down to just like what the requirements are in terms of whether speed is more important or whether computing resources like memory management and things like that are more important for whatever task it is that you're trying to do. So in cases like that, I don't know if Go would be the best in cases where you need like more granular control of the memory management and stuff like that. To teach, you need to understand first, so it's harder to teach. Yeah, totally, Chrono. What projects am I working on at the moment? Mostly just charm stuff. I haven't had a chance to do a ton of personal projects recently. What is the thing with coding creators? I only know the Primeagen, CS Jackie, and all of them are great. I know. I think people are just upset to see other people doing stuff and being successful at it. Also, Jarrison, thank you so much for the 6 months. I appreciate it. Shmib, thank you for the Prime sub. And Kimchi, thank you for the Prime. Same can be said the other way around. There are lots of people that are great at what they do, but they can't teach. Or more commonly, people talk about how a lot of good workers can't be managers because it's a separate skill to manage people. Dude, I think I can be a people person, but I could not manage people. I'm in this weird in between of like, I am equally interested in psychology and like working with people in that capacity, but I'm also very interested in the technical side of things. I just don't think I have the patience to deal with people's shit. Managers are so patient, man. Like if there's any kind of conflict, like they have to deal with it. That's their job. My YubiKey link doesn't seem to work for you. Uh-oh. I think maybe they canceled me. Maybe I'm not a UB ambassador anymore. Rip. You might be able to find YubiKeys on Amazon or something though. What is work experience as close to a bachelor's degree? I think it's essentially work experience, a bachelor's degree or equivalent experience. I think that's at least 4 years of experience in the field. If you're looking to, for example, live and work in the US, that one, it is 3 years of work experience per 1 year bachelor's degree. So you would need like 12 years of work experience to be able to be eligible for a visa. Although I think if you have some work experience and also some school, that maybe it would merge. You know what I mean? Like if you did a couple years of your bachelor's, that would count for 2 years of your bachelor's, and then you only need like, what did I say? Was it 3 years per? So then you'd only need 6 years. Don't get me started on how much of a waste of time formal education is. I know, it's too bad. He's still going on with the insults. Who? Jam Dev, I hope you have a great day working. Did you get a haircut? It looks different. Yeah. It's because I realized that my previous haircut was in shambles. Dude, they cut me like a Christmas tree. It was brutal. Don't be an idiot. It's going to be difficult for me, so bear with me. I'm slow. It's okay. We'll be patient. Due to the pandemic, I ended up getting really comfortable in sharing through articles, even though English isn't my mother tongue, on Hashnode and daily.dev. It helps me keep track of what I knew and what I didn't. Totally. Yeah. I think a lot of college helps us be better citizens too. Literature, history, philosophy, health ed, etc. apply to all walks of life. Yes. The one thing is with universities, I think universities can also have their own biases though, right? Like at the end of the day, it is a big organization that is run by people who are looking to profit in some way. So even when it comes to like things that you're learning in the curriculum, like of course it's good to see all these different perspectives, but it's also good to read about different perspectives that might contradict that. Right? That might completely clash with what it is that you're learning, so that you can at least see both sides to things and like figure out for yourself what's reasonable and what isn't, based on like maybe your own morals or your own moral compass. Can't believe you actually bash bunnies. I know, isn't that so cruel? Isn't that so cruel? There's a reason the chat is called bunnies. The bunnies. I took CS as my major in high school in Germany. And my friend who was in my class went on to study CS in uni, and he said most of what they did in uni we already did at school. Wait, you had a major in high school? Dude, I didn't get any computing classes in high school. Like I think we had a typing class, and that was the extent of any kind of CS education. Messed up. What do you think about functional programming in Java? Dude, I heard that mentioned in the talk that we were looking at on Friday. I've never seen it in action. Could you link the TLDR tool? Yeah, I think it's TLDR man pages. Let me like find it. It's tldr.sh. Yo, what's up, low level? How you doing? I've used Go for very high performance programming, including custom memory allocation, etc. I would use Rust for embedded. Yeah, I think when it comes to embedded systems, there's definitely in my non-professional opinion, since I have not done embedded systems, I don't know if Go is a great option for that. TinyGo, that's what it is. Because I was listening to the Go Time podcast at one point, and they were talking about TinyGo for microcontrollers. That's what it was. Thank you, Baxter. Honestly, Go is the perfect intersection between high level and low level, as long as you're staying above kernel, OS, and driver level. Yeah, that's awesome. I know Go is, there's so much to like about it. I think there's so much to like about it. I love it. I just like writing it. Honestly, it's just fun for me to write. If I didn't have fun writing it, I would probably be shilling another language, but yeah. May I ask, how does DevRel compare to senior dev in terms of pay? I think they're very comparable. I think. Because the thing is like, no matter what, your pay is going to be relative to business value, right? So if you're able to, not only if you're able to provide value to the business in a very explicit way and like just through your actions, that's great. And if you're also able to add, like make it clear how you are adding business value and advocate for yourself in that way, that's also to your benefit in your career. So highly recommend. Good communication skills are good. Visa for the USA. Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. Studio I banned sent me a series of insults in the DM. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. The person who cut your hair did a great job. Are you considering going back to them? Yeah, they're my OG stylist. I was just trying out a new stylist for convenience, but I think I'm gonna keep going back to them, like the OG. They're so talented. New color? Who this? Who? Oh, me. Yeah. Yeah, in chat. I'm a different color now. It's a rebrand, you know? How many languages do you know proficiently? I'm pretty sure my knowledge has atrophied in most of the other languages that I was writing. So, go. But I know that I can pick things up pretty quickly. Germany has a split school system where academic track lets you pick a focus. Cool. That's so sick. Is Chinese Go any good? I haven't tried it personally. I heard good things about it on the podcast, though. I prefer writing languages like Rust, but much more productive in Go. Interesting. Yeah, fair enough. What do you do as a DevRel? I have a video about this on my YouTube. Like what my day-to-day kind of looks like. Oh, awkward. Do I know my commands? Okay. All right. Okay. Let me try this. I don't know what Windows is about to show. What do I have up? I think we're okay. All right, cool. It showed nothing. That's good. Good job, OBS. Okay, chat window, terminal. All right. So someone was asking me to react to this tweet. Okay. You took a JavaScript bootcamp, made a few basic web apps, just like the tutorial showed you, and now you're writing engineer in your bio. You feel like an imposter because you are one, brother. Bring back shame. Putting frozen meatballs in the microwave and turning once halfway through is engineering too, if you really think about it. I mean, I agree. I agree with this. I feel like a lot of people, the word engineer is thrown around a lot because it makes you sound really smart, like you do a lot. Thing is I also live in a country where engineer is a protected title. So in Canada, you're actually not allowed to be called an engineer unless you've gone through specific programs and you've graduated with the engineer title from an accredited university. You even get a special little ring to remind you of the oath that you take as an engineer. So to me, when I see Americans or like people in other countries that call themselves like software engineers, I'm like, okay, if you say so. Like, I personally, I've always thought it was kind of overkill. Like, just say you're a programmer, just say you're a coder. Like, if you say that you're I feel like software engineer, it just is makes it it's more of like a kind of a bougie title that I think a lot of people strive for. And you definitely see that on social media. Like, I even renamed one of my YouTube videos to be like Day in the Life of Software Engineer, because before I think it was just like Day in the Life of Software Developer or something like that. But like software engineer specifically gets searched for so much more than software developer. So yeah, I think if you're like, the thing is too, she's kind of right. If you feel like you have imposter syndrome, one, you might be combating the sentiment of feeling like you're never doing enough. Okay, so first step, address that, understand why you feel like you're never doing enough and like you feel like you always should be doing more. All right, where's that coming from? Is that real, or is that just like in your head? Is that just some conditioned thing that you have? Step one, because you'll always feel like an imposter if that's your mentality. Step two, if you do feel like you're in over your head at a job or trying to do something, then of course you're going to feel like an imposter, right? Of course you're going to feel like an imposter because you don't feel comfortable or confident in what you're doing. But then again, that comes with experience, right? Confidence comes with experience. So I think that it's a sign. If you feel like an imposter, maybe you don't know what it is that you're doing, and that's also okay. It just means just learn about it. Just be curious about it, but don't be like, I don't know, bring back shame. I think it's just, yeah. I think if you feel like an imposter, it means that you have room to improve, and you can lean into that and learn that and move on. I also think that it's important that you do things that do build up your confidence as a developer. You can go back to the other scene here. I think that it's important you do things that build up your confidence as a developer, and that would be building your own projects and contributing with people. And you know what? If you are working a job and you feel like you have imposter syndrome, it's also well within your rights to ask to do more pair programming and get a little bit more hands-on mentorship at your job. And this might help you see and understand how a more experienced developer goes about problem solving. For me, that was really eye-opening, seeing that, like, here, let me rephrase that. It was really eye-opening for me when I first started at Charm to see how someone like Musely, who has decades of experience as a software developer, would go about solving a problem. Because I did have imposter syndrome at the time. But I think it also comes from potentially a lack of visibility in the space of like what other people are doing, how they go about solving these problems. And I think especially in remote work where you aren't able to like just look over and see what your coworker is doing, it might seem a lot more kind of obscure. So yeah, I could understand that. And for me, it helped my imposter syndrome a lot by doing more pair programming with a more senior developer, because at that point, I know what I kind of know what I should be doing. I know how to write decent code, but like sometimes if I'm stuck on something, I don't have the confidence to be able to pull myself out of that. So I think that it's a combination of you're feeling like you don't know enough about the topic, which means, okay, cool. It's okay to not know things. You don't need to shame yourself for not knowing something, but it's also within your responsibility, like take ownership of the fact that you don't know the thing and learn about the thing so that you don't feel bad about yourself. Two is that you're obviously also tying too much of your worth as a human being into your skills and output in your job, which means you should probably separate that a bit. A lot to unpack here, okay? Three might be that you feel comfortable with your skills as a developer, but at the same time, you don't know if you're doing it like you're problem solving the right way. You don't know if you're debugging as efficiently as someone who is senior. Unless you're senior, you're probably not. But the only way that you're going to understand how it is that they go about solving things as a senior developer is by being able to look over their shoulders and see how they do it. So I think pair programming is awesome. Pair programming helped me a ton in being able to problem solve things better. And one thing too that helped me a lot with my imposter syndrome was understanding that I can also find a lot of these solutions myself. So if I did have any questions that came up, like literally any questions that came up, write down the question, try and figure it out for myself. If I couldn't figure it out for myself through my own research, reading docs, pulling out all the stops that I could think of in terms of ways that I can try and solve this problem, is then asking my senior developer friends or coworkers, whatever, asking them the questions that I couldn't solve for myself And then obviously they give me the answers, and then also asking them what some of their favorite resources are and how they learn and how they got from where I'm feeling to where they are. And that direction can also give you a lot of confidence that you're on the right track and you don't need to feel like doo-doo. So, yeah, that's my take on the you feel like an imposter syndrome because you are one, brother. There's a lot to unpack. If you don't have imposter syndrome, you're not trying hard enough. Interesting take. Bloat Lord 69. Stop. Oh man. Yeah. That's so funny. Bloat Lord 69. That's true. That's true. Sometimes you should have imposter syndrome. Sometimes, thing is, I think that if there's room for improvement in your code or like in the way that you're working or whatever, like your boss, your coworkers, they should tell you that. You know? Like it is your manager, your boss's job to tell you that stuff. That is another thing that is really hard, I think, about being a manager is like you have to be a good manager, you have to be okay with like confrontation. You have to be okay to tell someone and phrase it well how they can improve. It's so much, there's so much like soft skills that go into it. It's hard. I couldn't do it. I don't think I could do it. I have no interest in it. Maybe when I'm older and wiser. It never sounds as bad coming from like a grandma or grandpa, you know? Because there's a bit of a grain of salt of like, okay, old man. But at the same time, like, you know, they know what they're talking about. But it's like, it's sweet by default because it's coming from an old lady. Do you ever have trouble getting stuff done when you've had a shitty day? I think everyone would have trouble getting stuff done when they have a shitty day. But I think it's also really an important skill to figure out how to take yourself out of that mindset. Like, what can you do that can act as like a reset button in the middle of the day, right? Like you had something shitty happen. How can you reset that? How can you stop thinking about that? Like what kind of processing do you need to do to have it no longer be an issue for you? A lot of the things I think that affect us can be like things that other people did. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I like stoicism. I like the concept that if there's some things that are just out of your control, and it's okay to just accept that and let it be water off a duck's back. If it's something that's not within your control, it doesn't really have a right to affect you, right? So I think learning to kind of come to terms with that is good. Also figuring out, like what your reset button could be. Honestly, if I'm having a really bad day, going and taking a nap in the middle of the day, listening to my favorite podcast, falling asleep to that, or like even just closing my eyes and like laying in a dark room, listening to my favorite podcast is such a good way to just reset. It might be a shower. A lot of people find showers very relaxing. Good way to just like pretend like it's a new day. But I think it's also like, just like have some grace with yourself. And I think if you're having a really hard time focusing, your mind is calling out for help. It's saying, hey, I need some support right now. And it's up to you to figure out what those needs are and like how you can fix that. Be your own parent. I don't think you should ever have imposter syndrome. Being humble isn't the same as feeling like you don't belong. That's true. That's true. I think there's just so much, it seems like there's just so much obscurity around what software developers actually do. and how they go about solving these problems. Like, it does seem pretty magic that you just write words on a screen and then it just like operates a computer, you know? I don't like to give direct responses to an issue a teammate's having, so I give tips or references, but it feels like most of them don't accept it well. What can I do to improve this? I give tips or references. Well, what about phrasing it as a question? That's one thing that I find helps me, and kind of prevents a lot of people from getting defensive. Is like, hey, did you like, what about trying this? Or like, hey, like, hey, have you tried this solution? And then, cause then and leave it like an open-ended question. So then they can kind of be like, no, I haven't. And you can say, oh, well, it's good for this and this and this. They'll be like, oh, maybe I haven't heard of that. Or like, oh, I looked into it, but I didn't think it fit here. And so you're open, like, make it more of an open dialogue instead of like, you should do this. I think most people don't do well when they are being told what they should or shouldn't do. But I think a lot of people are open to understanding things more. When I have a bad day, I just go to my lab and continue my world domination plans. Yeah. Water off a duck's back, so Canadian. Water off the loon's back. She might be. Do you work at Charm? You kind of have to accept some things are out of your control. Totally. And once you're able to do that, I mean, obviously some things are just going to like rub you the wrong way, but, and that's okay. It's okay to like get upset about things, but you're also giving a lot of your own power away when you let people get under your skin. Because ultimately, like, I heard this a really long time ago, and it was one of my favorite lessons that I've learned, I think. It's like, if someone were to give you a gift, they're trying to hand you this gift. If you don't accept that gift, who does it belong to? Right? Like, it's theirs. It's theirs. It still belongs to them. So like, if someone's putting out that negativity in the world, like, you don't have to pick that up. You don't have to pick that up. That's theirs. And that can stay with them. That doesn't have to be in your headspace or be anything beyond a part of them. And most of it's nice. I want to be more stoic. I take way too much responsibility, even on stuff I can't be responsible for. Yeah, and it puts so much pressure on you because then you're so hard on yourself if things go wrong. But a lot of the time, it's like, if something does go wrong, it might be a decision that's not even within your control. And in that case, like, what is in your control is to put out your absolute best work, to do your absolute best. And what's also within your control is to ask for feedback on that, right? So if you're given the outcome that you didn't want and they refuse to elaborate on why that is, I mean, of course that's shitty for you, but like, that's on them. It is their responsibility. The right thing in this case would be for them to give you feedback on that. And if they choose not to, then that's a bad thing that belongs to them. That's their responsibility. That's part of where, like, if I ever have conflict with someone, or if I'm ever having something that someone said like doesn't quite sit with me well, like, I feel that it's my responsibility in that situation to address that. It's my responsibility to say something. It's not their responsibility to know that it's affected me in a bad way, right? So personally, that's how I like to see things. YouTube chat feels neglected. I forgot that I had YouTube chat up. Oh, goodness. I think she kind of wants you to chat on Twitch. Why does she always ignore YouTube chat? I don't have both chats up. Oh, wait. Can I pop out this window? Oh. Thanks for letting me know, Coder. All right. Well, now I have both chats up. Sorry, YouTube chat. Hi, Tom Nook. What's up? What happened to the Elm project? Yeah, so we're going to be working on that again on Friday. Nintendo, are you playing a Switch game today? I recommend Animal Crossing. Yeah, I pay more attention to Twitch chat for sure. For a couple years, I feel like my brain just isn't working as it's supposed to. I'm feeling slow and motivated. I want to do my job very well, but it feels like I'm out of the magic juice like when I started my career and done a lot of side projects. It sounds like you need a break. Dude, one of the best things that I started doing was when I take a vacation or when I take time off, I am not allowed to touch anything computer related. Like if I'm starting to feel like I'm not super stoked to like do a bunch of coding on the weekend or whatever, like I'm not like eagerly looking forward to it, I won't touch it all weekend. Like make yourself crave it. Make yourself be like, oh, I really miss being able to like sit down in the morning and have a cup of coffee and like try and experiment with something new. Have you considered you're wrong? It seems like a clear skill issue. Exactly. The imposter syndrome I got when I realized that my colleagues knew more than I thought I did. But so that's where I feel like knowledge, I feel like it really starts to like, you start to shoot yourself in the foot when you expect anything. Honestly, it's like, I'll be curious about something. I'll think I know some stuff about something. But yeah, it does suck if you've put a lot of time and effort into learning about something only to realize that you're not as far ahead as you thought you were. But at the same time, it is, yeah, they say comparison is the thief of joy for good reason. But like maybe too, like, because I'm a big fan of work smarter, not harder, right? I think that usually there's some kind of strategy that you can employ that will make your hard work more effective. So I like to lean on that as much as I can. In this case, it might mean that maybe your colleagues have a better study strategy. Maybe they have some resources that they really lean on that you don't know about. So like maybe having a discussion with them of like how they got there or picking their brain about it, like that's a good opportunity to actually like connect with them instead of just comparing yourself with them and then feeling like shit. Often people want to first share that you have solutions and then later on they're open to learn how you learned the answers and be more willing to hear. These are some of the ways you could try to come up with solutions on your own. Oh, that's a good point. Probably a silly question, but what's the difference between college and university? They're the same. I think it's just a regional thing. I think in the States they say college. In Canada they say university. In Canada you also have like, is that right? A lot of people will say college, but I think in general, if you're in a country like in Canada, for example, there is a distinction between like college and university. So there might be something that's more similar to a community college, and a university will be a bigger institution, and a college might have like smaller classes, not as like fancy of a range of professors. You know what I mean? Like maybe how to explain this? Universities have more of a budget to work with generally. College will have smaller classes and less, maybe like less well recognized professors and stuff like that. Personally, I've gone to both and I found that the smaller class sizes were really nice. I actually found that at larger universities where it's like a huge lecture hall, there isn't a ton of opportunity to ask questions and like really have an honest discussion with the professor, because there's 300 other people in the class. So yeah. Seems like a Q&A stream. It is turning into a Q&A stream. It was going to be a focus with me. I should probably change the title. Let's see if I can do that. How do I change it? Where am I? Oh, there we go. Um, programming and being a good person. Maybe it should be their, I mean, it's definitely their responsibility. What they say is their responsibility. But it is like, thing is like, if they might not know. They might not know. Like, it's technically it's their mom's responsibility to like raise them and tell them what you can and can't do and teach them how to interact with the world, right? Is like, that's their parents' role. But if they didn't get that as a child, they might not know. So personally, I think that and I, again, I'm used to being on the internet, so I get it. I see a lot. I've seen things. Okay. I feel like as a streamer, like, it's my responsibility to enforce boundaries with people. If there's something that someone said that I don't think is appropriate for the context, then it's up to me to reach out to them and say, hey, just so you know, that's not cool for you to say that. And you can't say that in the stream. Perfectionism in learning is such a big problem. I should know and understand everything about something. Totally. And the thing is so I dealt with that for a very long time. And it's really sad because looking back, it really held me back. Because before I even looked at what something was, I already expected myself, like, you need to know everything. Like, you should already know this with every single thing that I learned. And it just made the whole process so stressful, meaning that I wasn't able to actually absorb the information as quickly or efficiently as I would have been if I would just approached it with a much more like relaxed perspective. Yeah. It's human to feel, and it's important and helpful to acknowledge and process those feelings. What I think is important is that you don't react or act on those feelings. Totally. Well, that's where it's like water off a duck's back. It's like, you don't have to force yourself to not feel something. It's okay for something to upset you. But just like, yeah, feel that, sit with that, say, okay, I'm upset. What do I need right now? How can I support myself into to make myself feel comforted and move forward from this? And even like in the future, maybe it's something that's like triggering for you. Maybe you're getting like really upset about something that was not that big of a deal. In that case, like, that's really important to address and like take control over, because you don't want to be put in a position where people can say these things and it just affects you so deeply. And in some cases, it's like a really hard thing to work through. And like, you might always feel that way. But even still, it's worth trying, and it's worth at least understanding that about yourself, so that when it does come up, you can comfort yourself instead of almost shaming yourself and being like, why am I reacting like this? Or I shouldn't be upset right now, or like trying to push it, like trying to suppress it is not healthy, because your body holds on to that stress. Sometimes I find it hard to say no, and I'm stuck in a project that I'm not excited about. Yeah, dude, boundaries are really freaking hard. YouTube chat is the neglected child. Yeah. I always blame mom for my inadequacies. Oh no. This is why we don't read YouTube chat. Hey, I got a dilemma. I built a project from scratch. Now my manager and CTO want me to lead. However, things have slowed down. One of my mentors suggests joining his team instead. Okay, well, it depends. So I built a product from scratch. My manager and CTO want me to lead. Do you want to lead? Would you want to lead if it meant a big pay increase? If they're asking you to lead this project that is now adding responsibilities to your plate, you should get compensated accordingly. So that's one thing to weigh, is like, would I lead this project if it means that I can make more money? And I can put that on my resume. That might speak volumes for future employment opportunities. But of course, also means a lot more responsibilities. Like, make sure that you really know what the expectations are before you go in and before you accept that they want you to lead. Like, what does that mean? Does that mean that you still have can you still have your boundaries of like your 9 to 5 work window? Make sure that isn't a thing. Like, hopefully you don't have to be on call if you're leading. Things have slowed down, and one of my mentors suggests joining his team instead. If you think that would be a more fun opportunity, you get to work on something that you feel is more exciting for you on a daily basis, but maybe it doesn't mean a pay increase, or might be a little less, maybe it'll be a little bit less advantageous to your resume. I would just weigh those pros and cons. That's what I would say. I would just say, before you accept any additional responsibility, like definitely make sure that you have it in writing what the expectations are so that you can enforce that when you're in that new job. Because as we were talking about earlier, a lot of the times your employers, if they see any opportunity to take more from you, they often will. So being able to stand your ground and know how you add value to the organization while working within those boundaries is really good. No joke, obviously. No, Tom Nook, you're an OG. You've been here since day one. Your mom must obviously be cool. She raised you to have good taste in technical content. Let's go. In YouTube content. I've actually had people tell me that they want their child to watch my streams or my videos, and that was very nice of them. So like, I hope that my kid grows up to be like you. I think that has to be one of the most flattering things people could say. That's a real compliment. I don't know if anyone resonates with this, but I find it far more fulfilling to fail while trying my best than to succeed with 50% effort. Totally. If I fail doing my best, I know I could possibly have done otherwise. If I fail with 50% effort, maybe I could have succeeded if I tried harder. Wait. If I fail while doing my best, oh, totally. Yeah. That's the thing too. That's how I approach things as well. And it's led to a lot of opportunity for me, but it's also made it really hard for me to figure out where to put my attention at different times. Because for me to look back with no regrets, for me to live a life where I don't have regrets, is that if there's an opportunity that comes up that seems like it's worthwhile, at least try it. And if you like it, you can keep on with that. But like, don't half-ass anything. I think the only time that you can really look back, I mean, obviously there's other things that we can regret, but like when it comes to missed opportunities, it's always nice to be able to look back and say, you know what, for the information that I had at the time, given the circumstances, I did my best, my absolute best to make that opportunity a reality. And if I didn't get it, at least I know that I put everything I could at that time into that thing. So I can't look back and say, oh, I wish I'd done this, or I wish this had gone differently, because you know that you did the best you could. So to me, I always try and approach things of like, I want to do the best that I possibly can at the thing. But then now it means that I have no free time because I want to try and put my best foot forward with everything that I do. And now I have no free time. But whatever. It's worth it. Just letting you know, you're inspiring me to document more of what I'm learning and to publish it. I don't know who it'll help, but at least it might look good for a recruiter. Well, totally. That's the thing too, is like, if you're looking at, let me rephrase that. If a company is looking at you as a potential hire, that is also a certain level of, of like confidence that you can give them, that you at least know whatever topics you've blogged about. Like, you have enough of an understanding to be able to explain that in written format, right? So like, they can pretty much look at your blog at a high level and see what topics you like to focus on. And if that matches what it is that they're looking for the position they're trying to fill. So even if it's not attracting like a super broad audience and people are like being brought to the blog, it'll at least add visibility for you and like showcase your skills for the people when it matters. So I'm really glad that you're doing that. It's also a great way to stay accountable. Personally, I find that's part of why I do content, is because I want to do these things. I want to research more things that are related to technology. I want to keep being curious about these things. I want to learn new tools and technologies. And I like making videos and I like sharing that process with people. And it gives me a certain level of accountability of like, okay, well, I feel kind of bad that I haven't posted in a while. So I need to post something and I want it to be good quality. So I have to research it. So now I have to dedicate part of my week to doing that. And it like, I don't know, it gives me a certain level of accountability, and it makes me feel good that people are able to like kind of connect with each other as well, with using me as a medium, right? Using like, we have everyone that's watching the video on like self-hosting all have some level of interest in self-hosting. So it's pretty cool that people are able to just kind of meet each other in that way and like, I don't know, find some sense of community. It's cool. I agree with craving coding because I was always hard on myself about not doing enough side projects and then feeling sad about it after work. Totally. Well, the thing is, yeah, as I said, like when you're beating yourself up over something, you're not going to want to do it. And two, it makes it so much more stressful. You have so much more stress in your daily life when you're telling yourself like that you should do it, but you're not. That's actually one rule that I have with myself. I'm not allowed to say I'm going to do something if I'm not going to do it. And it makes like, because for me, honesty is such an important trait. That to me is that's the most important thing to me. That is the most important thing to me, hands down, is honesty. I need to know that people are being honest with me. Even if what they're saying I don't resonate with, like morally or whatever, I respect them for being honest. You know, like that gives us middle ground. That shows mutual respect when you're willing to be honest with someone. And I think that honesty starts with yourself. If you're able to lie to yourself and say, well, I want to work out, so I'm going to work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then Monday comes and you say, I don't really feel like it. I don't want to do that. You've now promised yourself that you would work out on Monday, and you've told yourself, well, I don't feel like it, so I don't have to. And then now the next time that you're having that conversation with yourself, you believe yourself a little less every single time you do that. And then now when you tell yourself you're going to do something, it doesn't really mean anything. So to me, it's really important. Like I really don't want to say that I'm going to do something unless I am really going to follow through. This is where it's so hard for me to like switch topics, even with stream. And this is where I feel so guilty for not even being able to like follow through with Haskell and with all these other things. But like, I also am trying to have a bit more grace with myself that in some cases, it's just not enough of a priority to stick with it. It's important to know as well, like be honest with yourself. And like, if you say you're going to do something, do it. But at the same time, you also need to understand that sometimes there are other priorities in life that are more important than the things that you've promised to do. Just acknowledge that, you know, it's not, the timing isn't right. And it doesn't mean that you are less interested, but you just need to put it aside. And that's just what it is. Knowing when to stop is really good. It's equally important to know when to step out, when to drop something, as it is to stick with it, I think. What if I work smarter and harder? Well, that's exactly it. I think the best possible strategy is hard work with direction. And direction is working smarter. That's what I mean when I say work smarter, is the strategizing, making sure that where you're spending your energy is where you should be spending your energy. It is where it makes sense to. It's good. You're reminding me of Annie from Community. I haven't seen that show. I was having a shitty day and then went to the store and got some chips, feeling a lot better now. I'm glad. That's good. Yeah, like giving yourself, getting a little treat for yourself when you're not feeling good. Like just, it's so good. It's so important. I'm glad that you're feeling better. People usually don't overthink whether they fit or not. If you do, then something goes wrong. Oh, I don't know what you mean by that. Oh my God. Wait, what is this? These links don't work for me anymore. I can't click on what you replied to. Holidays break my rhythm of work. I try to take as little as possible. That is the most American thing that I've read all day too. I try to take as little as possible. I mean, if you love it and you're feeling on and you don't feel like you're suffering any side effects from not taking breaks, good on you, you know? But if you're starting to feel burnt out in any capacity, like breaks are good. I feel like, actually, do I agree with that? Because I think that breaks are a really important time that you can actually step back from what you do on a daily basis and like reflect on if that's actually like bringing you closer to your goals. Right? Like usually I find that whenever I take a break or a holiday, whatever, it gives me perspective. It gives me some space to just kind of like stop and like zoom out a bit, you know? So I think that breaks are really important. I guess then again, I'm about to contradict myself again. Then again, I've also gone stretches of taking 0 breaks when I was very adamantly trying to work in tech, right? When I was in school and working and trying to get an opportunity to do what I wanted, like to get my dream job, basically. I wasn't taking any breaks. I had a lot of things on the back burner though. I wouldn't say that was like necessarily the most sustainable or healthy thing. Family, friends, socializing, anything that wasn't work or study was completely on the back burner. So I don't know if I'd really recommend that as a healthy thing. But as I said, everything has seasons. So I think that if you're right now in a stretch of time where you feel that you're getting the most out of being able to like work a lot and put a lot of energy into that, and you're not feeling like you're having any health issues because of it or suffering any major side effects that are going to affect you long term, do it. Crush it. Kill it. That's so funny. It's a common thing. I have about 50 Udemy courses that I haven't started yet. Not my fault. They have sales all the time. You know, you might be able to get free courses from your library. Did you know that? So something that I learned recently is that, so obviously if you're in school and you're taking classes at school, through the university, they often have subscriptions to things like LinkedIn Learning or I don't think Udemy, but there's like other subscription-based classes and stuff that you can find online. And I think it obviously depends on like where you are in the world and all of that stuff. But oftentimes even your local library or community center, whatever, usually library, when you sign up there, you can actually get access to a lot of online services nowadays, including ebooks, audiobooks, and a lot of online courses and stuff for free. So heads up. Yeah, it's worth looking into. I don't even know if you have to like live in an area to be part of their library as well. I'm not sure about that. But because there's so much online stuff that's available these days, you might be able to like join a library somewhere that's got like all these crazy perks and then just like access their online portal. Coursera has an education discount and they offer so much. Yeah, stuff like that. So it's good to know. We have both college and university in Canada. Yeah. High school is college and college is university in your country. Oh, that's crazy. Faculdade Universidade. That's my Portuguese. I was going to say my Brazilian. Oh no. University has colleges inside of it. Like for my university, there's a College of Liberal Arts, College of Science and Engineering, College of Continuing Education, etc. Interesting. To reply. The further you are in your university journey, the more specialized you become and the classes become smaller. Oh, that's good to know. When you're doing web, what kind of frameworks do you use / like? Well, right now I'm about to be doing some web development, but I'm using Elm, which is a functional programming language. I want to try it. It compiles to JavaScript. Previously, I think I was using React as front end, and then back end, I used Go. I don't know if that helps you. I think there's Jin. What does Jin do again? But there was some crazy, there's some really good tools for Go where you can actually pass. I'm trying to remember what it did. You could basically pass your Go struct. You could, like, when you send that to the front end, it would just like become a JavaScript object. And you didn't have to do anything. There was some kind of framework I used for that, or library or something. I think it might have been. I think it was because I was using Wales. Wales let you do that, and it was sick. You would just like return the struct, and it would send it as a JSON, as a JavaScript object. What did I use Jin for again? Martini Lake API with performance that is 40 times faster thanks to HTTP router. If you need performance and good productivity, so there's a router, middleware support, JSON validation. I think Jin is pretty popular. Jin for Golang. Hiatus. Remember to be open, straight, no backstabbing, keep company priorities in everyone's sight to avoid political takes, but also keep things interesting for you so there are tangible upsides for you on potentially boring decisions. Yeah, for real. I think you should always be learning at work. If you're no longer learning anything at work, you have outgrown the role. Or, because it's nice when you get paid to learn, right? But at the same time, if you're finding you want to just be cruising for a bit, nothing wrong with that, okay? You can sit there a little longer. Just make sure you're not doing it because you're scared to leave. But just if you want to cruise and have a good paycheck and learn other things that you find are interesting just on the side or with the extra time that you have because you can do your job so quickly, do it. Let's give up on our dreams to become plumbers. At least AI is not going to take over plumbers just yet. Exactly. Dude, I think that's going to be the next big boom, is going to be like trades for sure. Are you guys oh man, Twitch chat is in shambles. Do you have any personal hobby projects going on at the moment? What are you busting to work on? The only personal project that I'm going to be working on for the next little bit is going to be the Elm blog situation. I've got that. I've got a few other ideas that are written down in my notebook, but I want to try that with Elm. So I'm going to add a blog to my website, and I want it to be a static website. So I think it'll be fun. You look like Link in Zelda. I look like a man from your video game. That's not very nice. No compliments, but like, gee, man. I managed to negotiate a lower workload but consistent because I find it difficult to go back from holidays. A lower workload but consistent. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. That's where I feel burnout. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Finally got a chance to try your stream. Have you had a chance to try Zig? After I heard about Tiger Beetle, I feel very excited to add Zig to my tool belt. Zig was on the list. It got kind of replaced. I've got other things I want to learn instead. I think I'd rather learn Elixir or Scala instead of Zig. And then Haskell's still on the list too. Well, I guess we're just chatting today. I was going to do some work, but I think I'll probably just make it a little bit of a shorter stream. It was going to be a shorter stream anyway. It's crazy. I'm always recommending free LinkedIn Learning, formerly lynda.com, to CS uni students paying huge amounts of money. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. I feel like I don't know. They don't advertise that stuff very well. That like libraries offer a lot of that stuff for free. And even like different community services. I feel like wherever you're living, it's really good to take a bit of time to just look into what they offer. I have not tried HTMX yet. No, I haven't. I actually don't even know what it does. What is HTMX? It writes HTML for you, I'm assuming. There's an issue with trades. It's pretty standardized and repeatable, so even easier to automate. No, I mean like physical labor. Elixir mentioned, for real. Try Elixir, it's pretty snazzy. I know. The thing is, Scala developers make bank, man. They're all pulling up to chat in their Ferraris. Elixir or Scala would be pretty cool. It's been a great conversation. Very insightful talking points. Thanks, 21. I'm glad you like it. Is that an Irish accent? No, Canadian. The Walmart Irish accent. Time to watch 500 hours of Primeagen HTMX VODs. He should explain like I'm 5 to me what HTMX is. Do I need to have him on the stream to LE5 HTMX? I'll have him. We should line them up, okay? We'll get Prime in here, shilling HTMX, and we'll get Tej in here, shilling OCaml. It'll be crazy. It'll be wild. I need a Scala representative. Scala, is it Scala or Scala? Skull, like school. Isn't that Cheers? How was the Nintendo lobby co-working session? It never happened. We've been chatting like this the whole time. HTMX is better than OCaml. I think is this the Primeagen effect? Is it better because Prime is the one who shilled it? The Primeagen effect? How did you start being effective in NeoVim? Trying to switch from VS Code and I'm budging up my config instead of editing code. Oh, brother. Oh, brother, do I hear you on that? I would maybe recommend using Spacemacs or something like that. I actually I was using Do Emacs for a while and it was kind of lit. It was kind of nice how plug and play it was after fighting my NeoVim config for literal years. I think both Prime and TJ actually have videos on their NeoVim setups if you wanted to get it set up from scratch. Let me see if I can link that for you. I need TJ to be more consistent with his names on platforms. TJ. Okay, I found it. Yeah, here it is. It's literally the first video on his profile. Okay, where is it? Here, I'll reply to your message. Worship the sofa. And get both of their Neovim videos up. I don't know if his is going to be as easy to find. Is there a playlist? Can it be featured somewhere? How to Vim in 2023. I think it was... Where even is it? Oh, there we go. 0 to LSP. There we go. Wait, did I not link TJ's video properly? Okay, well, whatever. It's okay. It's close enough. You guys can find it. You're people of the internet. People of culture. How will you learn Elixir? I'm also interested. That's a good question. I don't know. Elixir, I'd probably a book and then the docs. I don't know how good the docs are for Elixir. But usually I either try and go for their documentation and read through that, or get a book explaining it. Wow, there's so many people saying Elixir. I'm surprised. Where were all you Elixir people when I asked the chat what I should learn in December and everyone said Zig? Necklace is fire and I love the simple stream setup. I'm glad. The only thing that makes me sad about it, maybe I should move my dog. I gotta move the dog. Hold on. Rip ears. Are you guys okay? Are you guys okay? I yeeted my microphone, my headset out of the mic. Whoopsies. You guys, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how I feel about the React content that I did the other day. We'll see. We'll see. I'll keep it in the back pocket. I don't think it's my kind of thing though. I think I'd rather do quality and not quantity. I think I'm that kind of gal. We'll see. Check out the docs, recommend any resources. That's usually where I start. I usually start with like, if there's an official Elixir website, like go there, see what they say, see what Twitch chat says. Just the name is cool. Well, so Elixir it's like a more modern version of Erlang, which was 0 downtime, which is cool. So like they use Elixir, I think, in for like WhatsApp and whatnot. Yeah, it's solid 24 karat golden pooping dog. She's making that content creator money. Little metallic gift. Yes, exactly. Programming Elixir sounds so smart. You know what sounds smarter? Programming in Haskell. But then everyone's going to ask you, what are you building in Haskell? And if it's not Pandoc, it's probably not anything. Like, what are you building in Haskell? Like, I don't know. Do you guys know any cool projects that are being built in Haskell? Like, don't ask me. I have no idea. We didn't hear anything? Okay, good. Because it was gone. It was gone. That was it. If you do try Elixir, oh, I don't have mod. Hold on. How do I turn on my mod settings? I got If you do Elixir, try Live Book. Is that like an interactive tutorial? Dude, the Elm docs are really good. Did you guys see the Elm docs that I was doing? They're so cool. They have examples and they're interactive examples. Xmonad is Haskell. Oh, true. Xmonad and Pandoc. What else? Elixir is a functional language very much after Haskell, but they use it on a Beam platform. Oh, right. Don't you need like the JVM installed or something for that to work? It's like a high level version of Haskell. That's what I need. Dude, I need them to nerf. I need to nerf the difficulty of Haskell right now. Let's be real. She's dying. The blurry background makes it look like the dog is pooping. He is pooping. That's what's happening. Banking software in German companies is in Haskell? Are you serious? That's so sick. That's so cool of them. They're so based. Just a based. Tia Soding is the only person I know online who has built stuff with Haskell. Yeah, seriously. There used to be a pretty regular community member that had built a bunch of stuff in Haskell. He was like 10x dev for sure. Building like Neovim plugins and like writing stuff in Haskell and like all that. I was like, I aspire to be that level of talented. What do you think about so many new programming languages that are created on the basis of existing ones, but because they have something special? I mean, I'm all for building stuff because you want to use it. So if people are finding that they want a new programming language because they're missing a certain feature, they don't like one thing about a certain existing language, all the power to them. That's what I'm saying. Beam has two types of threads, which was introduced only in Java 21, for example, like platform and native threads. Two types of threads. Wait, so does that mean, yes, it does need the JVM? Beam? Hold on, I'll Google it. Don't worry, chat. I'm resourceful, okay? I can Google things too, okay? What's the difference between JVM and Beam? Unlike the JVM, which maps its threads to OS threads, Beam comes with its own scheduler. Where's Elixir? Is Elixir a JVM language? Elixir is a functional, concurrent, high-level, general-purpose programming language that runs on the Beam virtual machine, just being used to... Oh, I see. Beam is the VM. Oh. Elixir built on top of Erlang and shares the same abstractions for being distributed, fault-tolerant applications. Probably more tolerant than me. I don't know. I don't remember. I remember it was somehow associated with Java. And now I forget / don't care enough to keep looking into it right now. Let's create a language. Dude, one time I went into a streamer's stream and I just asked, what language is this? Because I had never seen it before. And I was like, I was pretty new to the space. Like, I don't think I streamed at this point or anything. I just went in here and I was like, trying to chat with other programmers. And I was like, what language is this? And then I got banned. Apparently he was writing his own language and was sick of people asking what language it was and why he was writing his own language. Wrecked. Absolutely rolled. They rolled me. What sounds cooler is programming in assembly. Oh, for real. For real. Beam is the Erlang equivalent of a JVM. Okay. Elixir's insulted that you mentioned the JVM. Sergeant Queef says, did I hear Haskell? I code Haskell. Yes, you did. Also, PogChamp. Haskell dev in chat. Confirmed. The username says all I need to know. Haskell dev. I could tell by the username. Hardest part of learning a Haskell is installing Haskell. Wait, what? Hardest part about learning Haskell is like literally everything. It has broken my brain, but I want to learn it because it's so different. You know what I mean? Haskell's not hard. You just need a PhD. Isn't Pika Haskell guy? He is. He is. Try to implement the Fibonacci numbers in Elixir. You'll notice most of the power of the functional declaration in Elixir. It's quite good, and collections in Elixir are very eloquent. Well, so I was reading, it was when we did 7 languages in 7 weeks with the little book coding book club that we did last year for a little bit. We did Erlang there, and it was so cool. It was so cool. That's when I was like, oh, Erlang is sick. Why don't we use Erlang? And then people were like, well, it's Elixir now. Actually, Bash, it's Elixir. It's Elixir is what you're supposed to say. Elixir is the new cool version of Erlang. Okay. 0 downtime, by the way. Don't worry. Half of us are just Googling what you're saying just to feel special. Most of the time, I'm going to be honest, most of the time that I'm in these like programming streams, I don't know what's going on. You know, I'm just there chilling. I'm vibing. I don't know what code they're writing. I don't know what project they're working on. I'm here for the vibes. Elixir syntax is totally different from Erlang. It has no ties with Java. Okay, sick. Haskell also has green threads. What is that? Elixir is more important if you want to win in the clash. Oh no. How dare you ask a question? How dare? Honestly. I used Haskell University and I've never touched it ever again after I graduated. All right, hold on. I got some in my eye. Yeah, it was JBlo. I got banned from his stream. There's still something in my eye, but I can't see it. So, you know what's crazy about being a girl? So it's actually my mascara flaked a little bit and went in my eyeball. And what's fun about being a female is that if you go and buy makeup, you can spend $50 on a mascara that turns out to be shit, and you're just like, you used it, so you can't return it. You're just SOL. You're just out $50. I don't like makeup for this stuff. Or you can buy like the wrong shade of foundation, and you can never, you use it once and you can never wear it again. And that's like another $50 gone. I bleed money. Bleed money for the cause. Seriously. Coding book club would be so cool. We'd do it again. It'd be fun. Yeah, I think that would be fun. I'm actually planning on kind of doing a bit of a coding book club, but I don't know if I'd do it. I could try doing it on stream, maybe. I was going to do more of a, like, we'll see. I'm experimenting still, trying to figure out how I can do more YouTube videos on stream so that it makes sense time-wise, so I can stream more. Otherwise, I'm doing it offline. But I was planning on reading books and then giving my own kind of like takeaways from the book in YouTube videos. But I can probably do that on stream. But then I'd have to tell you guys would have to probably keep pace with me in the book, or I don't know. And I'm not ready for that kind of commitment. You know? I don't know when I'm going to read through each chapter. I say I'm going to do it this week, but I don't know for real. What do you think will be the future of programming? Do you think we'll be able to simplify everything in the coding process? The future of programming, I think there's always going to be problems to solve and people to solve them, people that need to solve them. I think maybe, given that we are trying to like alleviate some of the burden, some of the like the things that are just tedious, because we're trying to alleviate a lot of the tedious parts of the coding process, hopefully that will actually give developers the potential to maybe get to know whatever domain it is that they're trying to solve problems for a little bit better, and therefore create better solutions with their code. That's what I could see that happening. But I do think that a lot of the stuff that is kind of being I want to say like kind of abstracted away from our coding process is all stuff that's like pretty basic. It's just like a lot of typing. It's a lot of whatever things that we don't necessarily need to be involved with. But like the problem solving part of it is, I think it's always going to be relevant. It's always going to be something that we need a person to solve, I think. Yeah. Personally, what I find difficult with Haskell is dealing with laziness by default. Yes. Yeah, the lazy loading there's so much. There's so much. It's just so different. Wait, WhatsApp still uses Erlang? I thought they used Elixir. Elixir is just usable Erlang. For real. Hey, Nate, how's it going? Here, I want to give you a shout out to Nate. I gotta put this somewhere where it's not gonna reverb into the mic. Hold on. Okay, it's still reverbed a bit. I don't know how to fix that. I just don't know. Barely know how to stream. Oh, thank you, Coder. I once took a class about assembly and it got me a ban in Steam. I forgot the code opening command, entered CSGO ranked, never thought warnings was for the assembly project. Stop. Bro, they thought that you were trying to hack the mainframe. They said this man's a hacker. You're giving off too much of that hacker man's energy, you know? So he's a liability. We can't have him here. He's too smart for CSGO. Spend more time programming, less CSGO. Ban him. Get him out. Green threads are these lightweight threads that Erlang has, also called MNN threads. Interesting. I feel like it's often difficult to get into a programming stream without having the full context. Yeah, for me, I treat it like co-working, basically. Like I love having a programming stream up while I'm coding. It's just like moral support. I'm like, you know what? You're struggling. I'm struggling. We're here for each other. We got this, you know? Chat's struggling. You can tell, right? Some of the messages, I'm like, well, you're struggling, okay? You don't know what's going on. I don't think you know what's going on your end, you know? Or here. We always have to bully chat, okay? For the record, chat will be teased. Same with the Rust developers, okay? Makeup scam for real. Mostly guys watching. A lot of male content creators wear makeup. Makeup, I don't know why would guys not be able to wear makeup? For real. Like, you think there's no possibility to have like masculine makeup? Imagine if a makeup company came out for like makeup for men, it would be the exact same products, just like in all black packaging. It'd be like makeup for men. I don't think there's anything wrong with wearing makeup. I feel like it's so weird. It would be so weird to me. Like if you have a breakout, whatever, and you want to conceal it, like, I don't know any woman that would be like, oh, that's fucking weird. Like, no, there's no way. Be like, oh, what concealer did you use? It looks so good. Seriously, like, no, there's not. I could never see that being like a weird thing. I think it would be only other guys that would make it weird. In which case, like, bro, okay, if you want to be pimpled out, like, go for it. Who cares? It's nice letting your skin breathe. But mineral makeup, it's fine. If you have breakouts and stuff, you can put mineral powder foundation on it, and it's okay. It can help calm the skin. So do you get back problems sitting so long? Yeah. And I sit like a freaking shrimp. Look at me right now. Look at me. My back hates me. Yeah. Like there's actual, you gotta use your work benefits. All I'm saying, go get acupuncture, go to massages, go to chiropractor. I don't know if chiropractor does anything. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if it does anything, but yeah, I exercise and try to stretch and do all that stuff because I sit so much. I also have a standing desk. Do I stand? No. Absolutely do not stand, but I have the option to stand, and that makes me feel like I have control over my back issues. So yeah, it's definitely not good. But this is where it's also really worthwhile to invest in a good ergonomic setup, though. Like me upgrading my monitor to 4K was such a good idea. It does help my eyes a lot. And I'm also getting glasses with like a tiny, the slightest, I think it's literally like the smallest prescription that you could possibly get to just help my eyes relax more, since I am staring at a screen so much. So I think it's really important to take whatever steps that you need to like invest in your health long term. Actually, one thing that is apparently a good thing. So like my forearms, like this side of my forearms, not like the underside, but here, get pretty tight from like typing all day and stuff like that, right? So apparently acupuncture is like really, really good, like better than massage for releasing your forearm. I learned this from a massage therapist recently. Man. It's not the makeup that has anything wrong with it. It's the thought that you care enough to put makeup on your face. But that's interesting. That it's like, okay, well, I also care enough to like get dressed in the morning and like look decent, but like, so they're criticizing the fact that you care. Is it still cool to not care? I feel like not caring is a defense mechanism there. It's like, oh, well, I didn't try anyway, so it's fine. I didn't try anyway. I don't care if you think I look like shit. It's like, well, not to say that you look like shit without making, you know what I'm trying to say, right? You know the point I'm trying to make. It's not the toxic kind of point, but just like, there's something really nice about taking good care of yourself. Like there's something really satisfying of like wearing clothes that feel good, that look good on you. Like something really nice about that. It's about presenting more value to the world by your skills as a man as opposed to your appearance. Interesting. Interesting. Tiger, thank you for the 2 gifted subs. Dave gifted 2 you gifted 2 subs today, I think. Anyway, thank you for the gifted subs. I appreciate it. Congrats to anyone who won the raffle. The Twitch algorithm of deciding who gets the gifted sub. Congrats. Enjoy the emotes. Do you guys want more emotes? I would spend money on you, chat. I'd buy you. You want something nice? I'll get you something pretty. You can wear it around all the other Twitch chats, More emotes? I agree on your point about being fulfilled by nice clothing, everything like that. Yeah, like there's, I don't know how to describe it, but like there is something so nice about just like being surrounded by beautiful things. Like things where the person that made that thing put so much integrity into the creation of that final product, and you get to just like enjoy that. Like I think that's so cool. Because personally, when I own something, I try to like be respectful of the things that I own, like take good care of it, whatever, because like people put time out of their life to make that thing, right? Like they spent time and energy to making that final product that you now get to enjoy. So I really like it if there's something that is well made. I have so much respect for the person that made it, and I want to like I reciprocate that by taking good care of it. But it's just cool that like there's almost this like middle ground of like I can appreciate the amount of like um I can appreciate the attention to detail that they had in creating that item in a way that it spoke to me enough to want to buy that item. And like, yeah, we both kind of see eye to eye on like, oh, that's quality. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. I like that. I'm going to see that on a daily basis, and I'm going to enjoy that on a daily basis. And I respect you for that. So I like it when you're able to like have nice things and like resonate with the certain art or like designs or quality that another person produced. I think that's so cool. I'm going to buy it for life subreddit, by the way. It's so funny. I feel like when I'm talking about stuff like this, it's like very much like anti-consumerism, like anti-fast fashion, all that stuff. I'm like, I think it's such a funny, like, it's such a funny subreddit. It's funny. I don't know. I just had to say it. I just thought it was funny. So good. Brock, can I just say the chat here are intellectuals. Looks complete sentences, no Gen Z words like kek, omega, lol, copium, and so on. Oh, just you wait. We have a copium emote actually. They just got their bow ties on today, okay? It's because we're talking about philosophy and being better people. It's still Twitch chat. Come on, the Twitch culture, the Twitch culture persists. Come on now. We love a good Kek W. Kiku. That was cringe. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. It just is what it is. Also, Learn Erlang is a great book. Is a great free online book. Sick. CS in my name once stood for Counter-Strike before it stood for computer science. Let's go. Let's go. We were all brought into enjoying software development through video games. Well, you know, we know it. We know it. It's fine. It's fine. I'm going to go get some war paint from Walgreens now. Creators aren't watching streams. They're mostly producing content and consuming it. And there are not so many creators as viewers. What was I saying? I can't remember. I tried using concealer to improve my face, and then I couldn't. I tried using concealer to improve my face, but then I couldn't breathe. Were you allergic? That's crazy. That's crazy. Paint your nails at Secret Technology. There actually is. No, seriously, there's nail polish that you can get that can tell if your drink's been spiked. Fun fact. You can paint your nail and then go out for drinks and just dip it in your drink. Super sanitary. Yeah. Men in the entertainment industry have been wearing makeup forever. Yeah, like literally anyone on camera all the time, like the news anchors, everything. You don't think they got a little powder on? Like, come on now. Ain't nothing wrong with wearing makeup. Some people in chat were saying that's gay. People will say that about anything these days. Come on now. Is it gay? Is it gay to have sex with a woman? That was one of the funniest comments that I read. Or like, did I read that? Or was that in a movie or something? I don't know. I thought it was really funny. They were like, oh, I think it was a comedian actually. They were like, oh, you know, you can't be good in bed. That's a woman thing. Okay. Bro, is it gay to have sex with a woman? Who's something like that? Like, I don't even know. What language do you recommend to start learning game development? Love the stream. Keep it up. Um, game development. I've seen game development. I think there is an engine with Go if you are already learning Go. Since you're here, I'm not sure if you are already. If not, I think C# is a pretty common one. Also, sorry, I hope that wasn't uncomfortable for some of you on the stream. I don't usually talk about stuff like that, but it's funny. I've got a massage book for this purpose in 2 days. Let's go. I use the Aeron too. I don't use my standing desk as well. I know. I'm actually so bad at sitting in my chair though. I think the only way that I actually like remember to properly sit back is like far enough into my day that I realize my back is starting to ache. Also, like having something where I can extend my legs and so I'm kind of like in a recliner is good. If that's considered shrimping, I'm in serious trouble. Well, okay, oftentimes I have my knee up here, my other leg tucked. I'm actually sitting cross-legged right now. So usually I've got the one knee and the other leg, and then I hug my knee. Chiro's a risk. I've had some great ones and some terrible ones. The best ones are a mix of PT and kinesiology. Interesting. Are you going to get Apple Vision? No, I'm not. It can't be good for your eyes having something that distance from your eyes all day. You know what I mean? Like looking at a screen is already a lot of strain on your eyes. Like how much strain on your eyes does it put to use the Apple Vision? I'm very concerned about this stuff because I've been getting eye strain headaches. Okay, so bear with me. Let's see. 4K monitor, yeah, it's worth it. 4K monitor was really worth it. I love this monitor so much. Herman Miller Logitech chair, best ergo investment. Is it better than the Aeron? The text is so crisp on a 4K monitor. Yeah, so like I wanted a single monitor setup, so I actually can stream a 1920 by 1080p window using my tiling window manager. It's just like a quarter of my screen will be that window that I'm sharing on stream. So it's made it actually so much easier for me to manage stream. It's also way more ergonomic for me to not have to like move my head significantly. Yeah. Thor is probably a better guide on game development. Agreed. Go check out Pirate Software if you're interested in game development. Also, if you're looking for another cool chick in this space that does game development, you can also check out Lana Lux. She streams full time. I swear. She's super cool too. Yeah, we're giving her a little shout out in the, yeah, you can see it on the stream. Okay, yeah. She's awesome. Highly recommend. Which 4K monitor? It's the Samsung Odyssey. It's really good. Have you seen that new OLED Asus? No. I like the Samsung color profiles. I find the colors in the Samsung to be some of the best. How much do you work a week? At work? Full time? Although right now I'm using my the fact that I'm DevRel, I'm able to hang out with you guys and stream midday, which is cool. Part of my job, kind of. I succeed, they succeed is good. Placebo effect, go brrr. For what? Research I've read into chiropractic medicine in general show mixed results. Yeah, totally. It's actually interesting though, like how much in medicine the placebo effect is a legitimate like treatment for things. People think that it works for them, so it works for them. It's pretty cool. I would wear makeup, but I hate having stuff on my face. Dude, I swear to God, mineral makeup, mineral powder is like it, you actually don't feel it. It's really good. Also, even like tinted sunscreen would be totally cool, and it helps like kind of even out your skin tone and stuff if you struggle with that. More love and understanding for the world is the solution. If someone thinks your clothes or makeup is bad, it tells you more about the person who said it. Just enjoy life. Bless God. Enjoy this short time we have borrowed on this planet. Ooh woo. Based. Don't you notice she really reads our chat line by line compared to Hassan? He scrolls 100 lines every 1 second. You all lucky chat. That's right. Luckiest chat. They get bullied too sometimes. Since she codes, I think the subpixel layout is not triangular. It's not triangular in ASUS, but let me check. Wait, what? I'm sorry. You lost me on that one. You lost me on that one, guy. I have a bash shrimp emote. You have the best emotes? Thank you. I want to change my, I want to change the sub icon. I haven't decided what to make it yet though. Because my graphic design skills have gotten better. But I'm no artist. We'll see. I guess I could make it the bunny with the crown and then get a new emote made for tier 3s. Strategy. Bold, innovative strategies. I was joking about it needing pounds of concealer to fix my face. Oh, I see. I missed that. Are you completely self-taught or do you have a CS degree? I have a partially completed CS degree. I dropped out. Dropped out to work as a software developer. No, yeah, it's a whole thing. It was a whole journey. Partially completed. How many drinks will that nail polish last for? Till it finds a spiked compound? I don't know. Fellas, is having a girlfriend gay? Yeah. Seriously. Oh, it's so funny. Before makeup, I should consider skincare. Yeah, seriously. Taking good care of your skin is so nice. Wait, why did that get banned? Wait, what? Oh, unban? Did Nightbot ban him? Wait, what? Is he banned? No, he's not banned. I don't know how this mod stuff works. That's so good. I would love to get an Aeron. I'm always scouting Marketplace looking for one that's like a few $100 from an office shutting down versus a couple thousand brand new. Yeah, and honestly, these chairs, they age really well. So you can totally get a used one and it'll be just as good as a brand new one. So that's a nice thing about the Aeron. They do last a really long time. I actually just got this headrest for it, which is, what's the name? I can't remember the name. It starts with an A. It starts with an A. But I just got like a headrest that attaches to it. And dude, I did not realize how much I needed a headrest. It's so nice. It actually helps me like lean back into the chair properly. So I highly recommend if factoring that into the cost. I think it was like $250 though, just for the headrest. I can never go back to a single monitor. Do you use a tiling window manager though? Because using a tiling window manager with single monitor is so good. So good. She's Canadian too. Dude, so many content creators are Canadian. What's your mic? It sounds crisp. It is the Shure M7V, something like that. It's got both the USB option or the aux. So it's good. He just wants you to say, ooh. It's hard to keep up with 20K chatters. Yeah, for real. Also, I ignore chat more when I'm actually doing something on stream, but all we're doing is chatting. So, you know. Not only that, but ASUS claims that this subpixel layout will further help with text rendering issues. At least one reviewer did say it looked a lot better compared to the 1QD OLED. Hasn't come out yet, so we'll see. Oh, interesting. Invest in bunnies. I can give Oh. So after all this time, she's still bullying chat. That's right. Got him. Got him. The reason you should date me is because I'm a real gangster. No one mess with me, and no one gonna mess with you. Dude, Uno reverse. I'm the OG, and no one messes with me in my chat or your band. I can be scary. I promise. I promise. This is my house. I make the rules here. Tossing out bands like they're nothing. I dropped out of medical school and CS. Well, aren't you a quitter? Sheesh. At what point does the amount of work experience outweigh degree? Usually, well, I think when they say equivalent experience is like equivalent number of years. So you've worked at least 4 years. It depends though. If you're looking for like a visa or something, it'll say actually in the visa application or like the visa information page or whatever, it'll say how many years of work experience you need to substitute for a university degree. Am I seeing KDE Plasma? I'm using i3 Window Manager. KDE Plasma. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming that's a window manager. Isn't KDE an alternative to GNOME? GNOME for GNU. Why are you 2 hours behind chat? I missed that. You said what? KDE is a desktop environment. Hey, Coney, what's up? Are you going to be at TwitchCon NA? Probably. Hi, Badcap. What's up? Second stream around. What are we doing today? I don't even know. We're just chilling, chatting. We've just been chatting. How's the Haskell experience doing these days? Don't ask. No, it's on the back burner. That's what's happening. I'm gonna learn easier functional languages first. Is what I've decided. So is there a book to make your own programming language in compiler and Go? Tell me there is a book on how to make a basic OS. There's one by Thorsten Ball. I would definitely recommend his books. I think it's writing a compiler and writing an interpreter, if I recall correctly. Can you show how are you using this tiling window manager? Well, I won't show you all my windows right now. I can show another time. Are you still a good person if you treat people with love and respect because you are afraid of rejection? There's a lot to unpack here. If you are so afraid of rejection that you are now people-pleasing, I would say you gotta talk to a professional, man. I read Herman Miller, don't include a headrest because you technically shouldn't need one. I'm tempted to get one though, but I can use that as a reference. Not have my head jutted forward all day. Yeah, but my head gets tired. It's nice to lounge. You know what I'm saying? I want to lounge. I just want to lie down. I saw that in Ali Wong's comedy show. She's talking about this book. It's like, lean in. Telling women that they got to lean in. She's like, I don't want to lean in. I want to lie down. That really stuck with me. That's me after a long work day. I just want to lie down. Don't ask me anything. Atlas is what I got. Oh, I think that's what I have. Used Herman Millers are worth it. You just get a lesser warranty. Y'all got a warranty on yours? What are we chatting about today? Anything and everything. Okay, I'm finally caught up. That was a much more effective way to go about it. You can get some percentage off writing compiler and Go with Prime's code. He gets $0 from that sale. Honestly, Prime's such a kind human. If he were to get proceeds, it'd probably go to some charity or something like that. It makes me sick. I want to Yeah, I want to go to TwitchCon North America, and I want study time to go. Gotta get her out there from Italy. Get her out. Get her out. I should have. Do you think that I could talk to people in a Canadian accent for an entire TwitchCon? We were out in a boot. We were out in a boot and saw I don't even fucking know. What do Canadians say? Went for a margarita. Went out for a margarita. You want to come out for a margarita? A moose? Did that work? Was that good? Give me a 1 out of 10. Give me 1 to 10, not a 1 out of 10. Okay, 10 being the best. Good. That's a Scottish accent. I don't think that's a Scottish accent. No. Get maple syrup. I'm so mad at accents too. That's the best I can do. Needs work. I thought I was doing pretty good. Give me a booty out of 10. Oh, 1 out. Okay, you guys are just mean. You're just mean now. All right, that's fine. That's fine. Could you do it for a whole stream? What would I do for a full stream? What I do? I forgot already. Focal plane is meters away, so less ciliary muscle contraction, so less strain. So it's ciliary muscle contraction for sure. A bra out of 10. Okay, thank you. Thank you. That's what I thought. Wow. Okay, there's such a range here. Just add a hey to the end. Nice weather around here, eh? Almost. Moves to Canada, honestly, don't hear the Canadian accent that much out here in Calgary. No, it's all on the East Coast. It's all in Newfoundland. I swear, it's all in Newfoundland. They all sound like this twangy Irish accent. I'd rather not rate. Okay, well, yeah, study time is awesome. She is a sweetheart. 10 out of 10 would run away. I'll allow it. If you still wear Crocs. I haven't worn Crocs in a bit. My Crocs have been neglected. I do have Hello Kitty socks though, you want to see. Look at it. It's good. She banned me? Do I need to ban you? What'd you do? Do we ban him? What'd I do? No one likes a bad Scottish accent. You can be in the TwitchCon EU and you think that, bro. What'd she ban you for? Be honest. L question. What was that about? I don't know. What'd she ban you for? Be honest. Huh. My takes didn't go well with her. Ruh-roh. Ruh-roh. Would you blonde at one point? Did I imagine something? Brown looks good. I was blonde. So I went from red, and then I realized that I'm not very good at maintaining anything that requires any kind of maintenance. Can't do my nails. Can't keep dyeing my hair every few weeks. Dude, I get restless. I don't have the patience to sit in a chair for like hours while they do my hair. Who has time for that? I'm uncomfortable. I gotta chat. I don't want to chat. I want my earbuds in, but then I can't put my earbuds in because they're dyeing your hair. So you can't have your little earbuds in. Anyway. So I didn't have the patience for it. So I went from bright red and then I switched it to blonde, which honestly, I don't know how my hairdresser did that. They managed to switch it to blonde because then I could actually like grow it out and have it look decent. So I did that. And this whole time that I had blonde hair, I was just waiting for it to grow out. Hadronized, I don't recognize your username, but I know you're a VIP. I'm trying to remember. You switched your username for sure. One of the French OGs. Is it Faison? Oh, yeah, it is. Hello. Yes, the mochis, for sure. We still love mochis around here. Mechanical, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. Thank you. Wait, you're actually who I was talking about earlier. That's crazy. You were summoned here. We were talking shit. We were talking shit about you in the chat. No, I was saying that you were a Haskell user and that you wrote some sick stuff in Haskell and that you wrote NeoVim plugins, and I aspire to be that level of developer. I tell my hairdresser I'm going to take a nap before the appointment starts. I know. It's so awkward too because I'm like, if I don't talk, like, does that make me a bitch? Like, am I a bad person if I don't want to like make small talk with the hairdresser? I don't have patience. I can't do it. And like the nails, dude, nails take so long. Pandy, thank you for the raid. What were you working on? Pandy. You were talking about whom? You. It was a while ago. I'm glad to see you're still active AF. I don't know about active AF, but yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I am also glad that I'm somehow consistent with anything. I bet you don't even ask your Uber drivers about their life story. No. Okay. Hear me out. Dude. So this might be kind of depressing to hear. But anyone that I don't know that is dropping me off at my home or that is doing work at my home or that is doing anything where I don't know them very well and they now know where I live, I try not to make any kind of impression on them. So I don't ask my taxi drivers about their life. I don't really talk to people outside of like being nice and courteous because I'm paranoid. I have trauma, okay? So that's the really fun reason why I don't like making small talk with Uber drivers specifically. Yeah, I try not to leave any kind of impression. Not quite insecurity. Yeah, not quite insecurity. Good reason. I think you guys all know I had a stalker, right? For like years. So that really changed how much. That really changes how much you can trust people. That really changes things for you. Hey, yo, what's up? Yeah, yikers. So, heads up, don't do that. Can't trust anyone. You can't trust anyone these days. For real, for real. You had who? Your worst nightmare. No, not an Uber driver. Not them specifically. I just don't trust random people knowing personal information about me. Am I giving too much info to random people? I often talk to Uber drivers. It's a common thing in my country. I think it depends. I mean, it's hard to say. It's hard to say until like something bad happens and then where it's like used against you and then you're like, "Oh, well, now you know that. I can't take that back." Even us? Yeah, I don't trust any of you. You're all sus. You're a bunch of developers. Except the Go developers, I trust them with my life. Okay. My life. Yeah. My life, for sure. You should just lie to them about stuff like, if you feel like you need to talk to random people. Yeah. Yeah, usually I just ask people more questions about them. I just kind of like answer their questions with a question. And then, yeah. Dude, like, I gotta say though, like for guys, if you're going up to someone that you've never, like some random woman on the street, do not open with, "Hey, do you live around here?" I'm just gonna say that. I had so many people open with that line and I'm like, "Sir, why do you ask? Why do you want to know where I live? I don't know you. Hello?" It's Riz. Yeah, this is Riz. Actually, ask for her address. Come on now. Don't be broad about it. Just say, "Hey, what's your mailing address? You got a PO box or you live alone? You got anyone else that's going to receive that package or what's up? I want to send you something. Send you some YubiKeys, okay? If you say YubiKeys, you're good. You're good. I'd give you my address for YubiKeys for sure." I'm letting go while working through college. Started late at 28. Yo, let's go. And you know what? If anything, I feel like sometimes you need a little perspective. You need a little perspective. You need a little tenacity. You got to like build up that grit to code. I'm not going to lie. Straight up, like, I don't know why. Over time, like it got so much easier to understand the concepts compared to like when I was 17 trying to learn how to code. as like a 20 something year old, it became so much easier. It is so much easier. And I think part of it is just like you kind of learn about what something is, and then you just kind of sit with it for a while, and your subconscious just kind of like does the math, is calculating, is figuring all this stuff out in the background, and then you wake up, you know everything. It's crazy. Yeah. Everything. Not a single thing you don't know in your 20s. Duh. Genius. I was open with a marriage proposal. That's what I'm saying. You meet someone, you think she's... get down on one knee right now. Get down on one knee right now. What's been your last project lately? Last time I watched your stream, you were working on the project planner thingy. I haven't done a ton of personal projects recently. I've been working on a lot of like the charm stuff and like stuff, little tutorial projects for videos and stuff like that. But generally, if I'm coding, I'm trying to like help like people with their issues, or like do code review, or like different things like that. I was working on a really big refactor of our Markdown renderer at work, and I was doing that for a while. It's most of the way there. It's just sitting stagnant right now though, because I haven't had any time to finish it, and it's not like it's a priority item. Like it does need to get done at one point, but it's like more of a nice to have than an essential. So it's like it's on the back burner as well. That's the one thing when your job is like your hands are in so many different pies as part of your job. It's like it's really hard to like finish coding, because coding too, it's just like you have to be so in the flow state, or like in the code to know what's up, that once you're taken out of that and you got to like multitask with other things, it's like it's really hard to finish things. What's your IP? Oh, where's your home? Whoa. I wasn't asking for your address. I mean your home directory. Do you got any special name for it, or are you a Windows user or a Linux user? I'm just trying to figure that out here. Dude, I'm pretty sure this guy in chat has literally... Have you just been saying cringe? Cringe. You're cringe. Why are you here? Why are you still here after the first cringe? What happened for Rust? Ew, for real. No, am not trolling. Explain yourself, Swag. Either you're... No, am not. I'm trolling. Or no, he's either trolling or he's not trolling, and his lack of punctuation is throwing me off a loop. Become the stalker instead. Exactly. Postpone.neovim. Yeah, for real. for real. Did you manage to get your cron to work as you wanted? I did. Yeah. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to actually be releasing some content about that soon. Blog post and video relating to the cron job stuff. So that's cool. Can you mod Hammy? It's okay. I also need to go. I don't even know where Hammy is. Wait, let me explain myself. Explain yourself, sir. You just said something cringe 2 times. Well, do we need a cringe counter? Because I don't give a shit what you think, my guy. I don't care if you think it's cringe. Cringe. Just like, why you got to announce it? I don't care. I'll say what I want to say. Have my peace. Do you think web development has a future? Should I start it? I'm 18 right now. I don't know. What to tell you. Oh, he is here? Oh, okay. I see. All right, cool. Imagine I typoed that. These streamers are cringe. You know, yeah, being on the internet's cringe. For real. I actually do have to go though, like pretty bad. So this was fun. A little unexpected. You guys sniped me. You captured my attention and made me chat for 3 hours. It's crazy. Is streaming cringe? Yeah, it actually is really cringe. Don't keck W omega lol me, okay? Take the L plus ratio, bozo, and get off stream. That's so cringe. I just showed up. Well, get wrecked. We're ending stream. So is there where I tell everyone that I've never used ModView before? You guys, Hammy's gonna ban whoever he wants. Get wrecked. It was nice talking to you again. Have fun. Take care. You too. You too. Hope everyone has a great rest of your day. Fucking crush it. I don't know what you guys are working on today, but I hope you crush it. Hope you crush. Hope you crush and you get some Keck W's and Omega lols. Is Study Time sleep streaming right now? Oh my god. That makes me so nervous. That makes me so nervous. I could never. Gee. Oh my god. She scares me sometimes. She scares me. All right, guys, who do we want to rate? Let's rate someone in the software dev category. There is, what do we want? Do you want to do software dev? Wait, what about just chatting? Do we have anyone cool? Anyone cool and hip? Let's see. God, there's some weird... Just chatting is such a weird place. Where am I? Honestly. Question all of my life choices when I'm in just chatting. Wait, TJ is coming? No. Wait, what? He's not streaming anymore. Making Tubbo a subathon timer. Do you want to raid Auto? Let's raid Auto. Auto's sick. As weird as all of Kick. I know. Dude, I could not stream on Kick. People are like, why don't you make a Kick? I'm like, bro, you think I want anyone from Kick chatting, talking to me? That's cringe. It's cringe. It's cringe. Don't do it. No. I'm just kidding. 4chan already has found me. There's no hope left for me. But yeah, I hope you guys have a kick-ass rest of your day. Jolly good, jolly good. Have fun, stay hydrated. If you're coding, have fun with that, okay? Good stuff. I don't even know lessons learned today. I don't know if I can take a nap. Go get him, Tiger. Go get him. Go say hi to Otto. He's building cool stuff. Otto's cool. He's also got this like soap thing in his stream, and it's pretty addictive to watch, honestly. So enjoy that. I came here to watch Go programming. Will there be any programming? Not today. I'm going to write some Elm on Friday. And now that I've said it, it's a promise. So it means I got to study a bit so I can write some Elm on Friday. My new schedule is, oh shit, not Friday. Sorry, I got to reschedule. Go join the Discord. Join the Discord. I post all of the schedules there, okay? Go take a nap. Go check out the Discord. I'll see you guys on Saturday this week. Sorry. Saturday at 12 o'clock Pacific PM. Okay? And I'm not in the middle of the night. Anyway, peace out, you guys. Thanks for hanging out. It was very wholesome, very kind chats. Very cool of you. I'll see you later. Bye. Bye. Okay. I always got to double check if it worked. And then I got to end stream. Yes. Okay, it worked.